I'm not saying Steam because last time I tried saying it, it was to summon Mark, and then Cloudy and Ash left me hanging, and I felt some kind of way, and then I was like, well, you know, why would I do it now? You guys are trying to set me up for failure. Just set me up. So,
makes sense, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
But
that wouldn't summon me anyways. Like, there's farther things. You'd be like, hey, new merch for sale or new pre-orders. CSM. Blade.
We tried, chat tried, and then just nothing ended up happening. So I mean, you thought that we ended the stream when you got home. So.
I know, and I was like, I guess you guys were still going for like another like 25, 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, we definitely stayed for the 3-hour mark. So
yeah.
So yeah, Cloudy says he's running extremely late and possibly maybe not show up at all. Because work's been killer for him. Ash is running late. He says he'll show up a bit late. Mark is obviously here this week. I've been slammed with work, and especially since I had like 3 people quit today alone, so it was a very hard time, which is why the Boonboomger video took forever in general, just because it was a busy work week, and that opening bit did actually take me like 2 days to do. So,
telling you, go simplistic for a while. Let the personas take a break. Let them get.
This was the debut of a persona. That's the thing.
That's what I know. Like, listen, how many we at now?
How many wigs I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 12 wigs.
I'm not saying that's excessive. It's not excessive, honestly, because you know they're characters. But like, you know, give yourself a break. Do some talk in front of the camera. No cuts. You got to take out the first 5 seconds, last 10 seconds. Trust me, it works. Okay. I don't know how my views are going down, but my subs are going up. So I'm like, hey, whoa, I ain't saying nothing.
That is the odd thing for me, because it's like my subs have gone up a little bit, but the views for this one, it's like usually within 12 hours, I'm already past like 1,000 views. This one, it's not. So I'm just like, wow, that's either speaking on me or people just not caring about Boonboomger. I don't know.
It's kind of weird right now what's hitting, so to speak, with content. Mainly because I was looking at like social media. No one's really talking about Boonboomger at all. No one's talking about all the merch because more cars got kind of leaked, I guess, or something. I don't know. But everyone's mainly just talking about, you know, ASJ and Bandai not releasing anything outside of SH Figure Arts in the US now and all this other weird stuff. And I'm like, but like the shows. No one's even talking about Good Chart. Everyone's just kind of being like, oh, it's a good episode.
Which is the odd thing, because yes, God Chart is definitely picking up steam in terms of what they've been cooking up the last couple episodes, especially with the last one not being written by, you know, Akiko, but is still, you know, hitting some of those humor flavors, but at the same time giving us, you know, some very good seed plans in terms of a plot that's actually there, like with the whole Atropos possibly being Gideon's real daughter, maybe somewhat, but at least we know she's different from Clotho and Lactis. So, because they're specifically calling it out. So that's I'm just like, okay, let's see what you're cooking out here. So yeah.
Well, it took how many episodes?
Exactly.
The fact that the show's over halfway, more than halfway done, is just so ridiculous. That it's like the pacing has been interesting.
And yeah, definitely getting some feelings of salty bitterness, jealous this week. Seeing Hotaro definitely get thirsted on by New Girl, aka the thirsty girl from the Fies film.
Speaking of thirsty girl.
Oh, speaking of thirsty girl, there's Ash.
Hey.
So
with new shelves?
Yeah.
Now you got to fill them with shit.
I know.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's. I'm always in the state of like, once you start buying more shit, the best investment is more shelves for more shit. Once you run out of that, then you just buy a new house.
Yes.
Most of the stuff that I want to put on there is at my mum's, so I have to get all those crates with my comics and my 3DS and DS games in there to put on the shelves. So
video games look so good on display. I need to do that. One of these.
I know.
I need more shelves.
Yeah, physical media. Because man, all that news about like the digital takedowns and shit like that in the gaming industry, I'm like, ooh, nah, I'm gonna stick with that physical media. So
no, like I love Game Pass, but I need to hunt down the Yakuza games physically to play them.
Oh yeah. Well, are you gonna try to come out to PMC? Because there's a store nearby that I know has like all of them physical.
It depends. PMC's a maybe for me, not because of the controversy surrounding it. It's mostly because of the money. Mostly because of the money.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're gonna let one ranger and their opinions stop you from the chance of going to another country to a Power Ranger convention.
Yeah. I get that. But yeah, money is a thing, and then still trying to sort out like accommodation and stuff like that. And yeah. So I'm working on it.
So I guess since the whole Austin St. John thing is still like, making the rounds, and that's not dying down, they're completely taking that into effect. Of course, I don't know the full social media blowout because, of course, I don't exist in that space anymore, and plus I've had a busy ass work week, so there's that situation. But yeah, like I've said in the last 2 live streams before this, there was going to be a convention in my town, and he was indeed there, and I did indeed talk to him.
No.
And so no, I was there on Saturday. I saw him, but I was in like the full Orga getup and foggy mask, all that stuff. I was just like, I can't do anything with this shit. Nah, I'll just wait until I'm just doing a casual fit on Sunday. But I mean, it didn't hold me back. I spent the $80 and got the autograph.
Okay.
He only did the one side, not the other, because Steve was there. But I'm like, look, I can't afford both you and Steve at the same time, right? Plus, I already got Steve's autograph on his power coin, so
okay.
Dude, 80 is so much.
I was just like, man, 84. So imagine how much the picture was. I was like, no, I'm not buying no picture. Nope.
How much were your prices right? How much was the picture?
If you got the autograph, it was 40 more to get the picture.
Okay.
But like standalone picture was like $100. So
wow.
This is why I don't go to conventions a lot these days to see the celebrities.
I think what year it was. 2015. It was Austin St. John, Karen, Narvi, David. Like you could do like the group photo for like 60. And the
inflation, am I right?
And I think it was like $20 for the already 8x10, and then like the 15 added on for the signature. Or if you want to take the photo with them, it was like $25. I was like, but now I was like, damn, that's so much.
I mean, there was someone at the they had a Q&A that same evening that was next to me that said that he paid for a photo with all three. Essentially, he just went to Karen Ashley's booth, like said, when you get a moment, went to Austin, went to Steve until they all were free, and then gathered around the middle table so he was able to take a photo with them. But he just paid their individual fees and just told them like, hey, can we just,
Nah, you gotta get a buy two get one free, or like something. You gotta deal. You gotta wheel and deal.
Nah, because they got their own individual funds and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so I did get to talk to Austin, and the funny thing is, like 2 people ahead of me in line, he was already talking about what he had said, and it goes to show that not a lot of people actually know what specifically is going on, what he said or anything like that, just because the common person does not know the drama. They might have heard like a slight thing, but they don't know like the explosion that currently Twitter is having with it, because seeing just the average person, even the person that was behind me was just still all smiles while I was having like pretty much about a 10-minute conversation with the guy. Because I told him, it's just like, well, at first I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing all right, but I heard you already mentioned the thing, and I got to tell you, like, yeah, I watched the entire interview, and the thing is, it's like, yeah, I've already seen the entire interview, so I've got the full context, and I know that a lot of people clipped the thing, and he's just like, yeah, there's people just painting me going around like just being a supporter and things like that. You got Walter calling me up. He was the first one that apparently called him up and said, so you're selling Hitler shirts now? And he was just like, no. So essentially, from what I got from the conversation, is that nothing was even in production yet when it came to the merch line. Nothing was. He literally just started spitballing ideas on the spot when it came to the merch line, because there was no website in place. There was no real green lights for anything yet. He was just literally just spitballing merch idea. And then when he starts getting into things, and I told him, it's just like, yeah, when you said the line, like I could see it, like, you done fucked up. And he was just like, you're right, and I did. But I had to, like, just once you say it, it's like you've already opened up that can of worms. How do you backtrack it? Which you couldn't really do it. But he never, I mean, if you watch the interview, he never fully said that he was going to make a shirt with it. He just started listing people from history. And
He's picked a bad person on the list.
It is, but, playing devil's advocate in a way, and the thing is just like, people are probably going to clip this out of context because, that's how the folks like doing. But hey, coming from a leadership point in my job, and anybody who's worked any leadership perspective, you have to know that there's always multiple sides to every story. Because how are you going to make judgment calls on your own team when it comes to evaluations and terminations and things like that? You got to get all the sides from the perspective. So the thing is, when I was talking to him, it was literally like, I just want to know what was in your mindset going through all of that. And yeah, so it comes to the perspective of, okay, so if you're thinking of historical figures, specifically like military, that are known throughout history, can you name 5 off the top of your head? And most of the time, they're typically going to be on the bad side of things, because those end up being the most notorious historical figures when it comes to military and war history. So that was pretty much the defense of things. And I was like, it's understandable in some aspects, especially when I remember the History Channel was nothing but World War II documentaries, and it was just that, like, nonstop, before we got George Tsoukalos with the ancient aliens and all that stuff getting slowly abducted every season. So we had that portion on there. And I said, well, I saw the website. I saw those shirts. They look like ass. They look like you just threw them together.
It's like there's no quality control.
And this is what he said. He said, because I did. I literally put it together one night, because after seeing everything, because at first it's like, no, that entire podcast was out in the wild for about 2 weeks before people found it and started breaking things down. And the second is, once he started getting all that feedback, pretty much the waves and waves of vitriol, he was like, I got to put together a website. He literally put together the website in one night and did exactly that. All those shirts that we saw that were, he legit just put something up. That's it. He just typed something up, put it on a shirt, and put it there as a proof of concept type thing. But nothing was ever fully like greenlit. He literally just pulled the website out of his ass just to have something there. And
it shows.
And once I mentioned that, he did say, it's like, look, I haven't even hired graphic designers yet or anything like that for it. We haven't even settled on historical figures, quotes, or anything like that whatsoever. Because literally, when I mentioned the entire thing on there, I was indeed just spitballing ideas. And now I'm having to make this line. So He did show me a couple of things, a couple of shirt designs that when I saw them, I was just like, see, that's better, because it did show like a stylized Trojan style warrior with text on there, and he said that's essentially what I want to do. That is the idea process. I just got to get the proper graphic designer to make what this line is supposed to end up being. So eventually the site's going to end up going through a proper revamp once he actually has the set pieces in place and actually sets all that up. So that's the entire thing. It's like nothing was ever fully greenlit. Nothing was ever essentially had to go through an approval process, because there was no, he, like I said, this is what he said. It was just spitballing ideas on there that he just had to rush to make it come to life, just to have something there. But essentially, in terms of a lot of it, from the views of the other actors that were there, it didn't look like there was any animosity between them. Apparently, a lot of the folks on the cast, like he had spoken to, from the looks of things, it's like Amy Jo Johnson was the one that rubbed him the wrong way, because she has his number. She could have just called him up, but instead she put out that tweet, which, you know, he took some kind of way. So, but yes, anything you guys want to like try and dig in, at least in terms of what, because like I said, I spoke to the man for about like 10 minutes or so in terms of the process. So
I feel like maybe everything he told you, he should have said online instead of acting like he never said it.
he should have. And the thing is, I feel if he were to, because the thing is, it's like even no apology is ever good enough for some folks.
Yeah, I understand that as well.
And depending on who you're talking to, if you're talking to someone that comes from a place of malice from beginning, like they already know that, you know, they're out to get you, then that makes the interview tense, and you're going to come back a little bit combative. I've been in those shoes as well, where I know that the person that's coming to talk to me already knows what they're trying to get out of me, and I'm already like in defense mode, like that type of shit. But I came to him from like just I know you fucked up. You look like you fucked up, but I just want to know what exactly the situation is, because I get it. Like, internet drama can be crazy, and cancel culture is crazy, and all that shit is just overall crazy. So I just came at him from a place of like, just explain yourself in a way that makes sense. I'm not here to beat you down. I just want to know what's up, because some people can get heated in terms of just trying to say shit to him. And look, I mean, people trying to sign petitions to get this man out of Power Morphicon, all you got to do is either not go to his booth. That's all you got to do, because at the end of the day, it's just a revenue stream. And if you do, then you ask your question. What's the problem with confronting who you're trying to talk to? But the thing is, of course, you got to pay some money to even be able to talk to him. So it's kind of pick your poison in terms of that aspect. Whether or not he's going to go online and put out a statement regarding it, I don't know.
I mean,
because the thing is, it's just like, you got to look at it from the other, the non completely on the internet type of person, which surprisingly, yes, there are a lot of people that don't spend a lot of time on social media, because once again, his table was still popping at the convention, and there were a lot of people that just honestly didn't even know the drama.
Oh, yeah, it's an isolated bubble. Like, as big as this fandom is online, like, that's, and people get offended when you say, well, the online community on like Twitter and this and that's still a very small percentage. People don't really like to hear that. It's like, we're not the authority. We're not even the majority of fans. Like, we talked on Discord. I was like, I have friends back home that will go to conventions like, oh man, like that Power Ranger died, or this person's still around, or oh, they're doing this. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we don't know. We're not online. We don't look at that stuff. Like, that's not part of our daily life. We're not content creators. Like, non-content creators who are in the Power Ranger or Toku space don't know or don't care. And it's like, And then I even point out, I was like, okay, I have little nephews. Am I supposed to tell my 3-year-old, 7-year-old, and 13-year-old nephews, like, oh, you can't go meet Jason from Power Rangers that you watch on Netflix because the actor is a bad person? I'm not gonna tell them. I'm like, no, go meet Jason. Go meet Jason. That's not Austin St. John. That's Jason, but older and larger, and
Yes.
like spaghetti. I don't know, but like
He still had a really firm handshake though. I'm
Dude,
not
no.
gonna lie. He gives a mean handshake.
Like I said, I kept quiet publicly. Like I've memeing this and that, but like I've met him on multiple occasions. Been nothing but respectful to me. Still some very bad takes. I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even if he says something online, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like you said, Walter was the first one to hit him up. That's how you handle it privately with your friends. If I gotta call some friends on some bullshit, I'm not going to social media first to make a big diatribe thing. It's like I'm gonna hit you up in the DMs. If I have your number, I'm gonna text you, possibly call, be like, hey, what's going on? What's good? I'm not gonna go right to social media and be like, wow, they're stupid. It's like, no, like you handle things behind the scenes. It comes across less petty and more respectable.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people question. It's just like, why are the other actors even like still going to venues with this guy? It's just like, because they likely nine out of 10, like probably there's a 95% chance they hit him up almost as soon as the drama start going down, and they talk with him, and obviously like they would probably still be in good terms, or else they wouldn't be, doing it.
These are people who know him. Like you have people who probably have never
known him
met
for decades.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sorry if you're online. Like I've met him 4 times, but am I best friends with him? No. So like, do I speak on him? No. Like I don't like I can't sit there and say, hey, he's a horrible human being. I'm like, no, he's just not the brightest bulb. And he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. That's why I was like, we just wait. Like the whole loan thing, I'm like, I'm waiting. I think the court case's in July. Let's sit back. Let's wait and see how that plays out.
May.
Oh, it's May. It's May.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I'm just like, hey, why are we speaking so matter of factly about people we don't like? There's people who are calling him literally a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
And a Nazi sympathizer and a Zionist. And I'm like, is he those things? I don't know. But it's not my place to label anybody that if I don't. It's like, I just don't like labeling people.
I mean, I feel when it comes to like a lot of internet culture, especially nowadays, it's really like guilty until proven innocent type thing. And because of that, because they paint the negative light to begin with, even if it comes out like, we never know which side any of this is going to end up coming to, especially when it comes to the court case and all that stuff. But even then, let's say he is innocent, because we don't know. We're not in the future yet. But let's say he is. Then on the internet side of things, the damage is already done because they already came in from the guilty side. And that's it. They already had that preconceived notion, which is the opposite of how it should be. It should always be, hence why our justice system is always innocent until proven guilty. You've got to get all of your facts straight before you start making those assumptions, or else you would suck being a juror in a case. Like I've done jury duty like twice in my life. So yeah, it's
I'm
like
sorry for you. I know,
yeah,
I know. Show that shit. I'm like, jury duty. I was like, are you paying me? They're like, no. I'm like, sorry.
It's like you could never be an impartial juror if you're not willing to look at the evidence that's laid out in terms of that facts. So it's like, it just comes with grown folks territory. It's like, you got to learn. You can't just come in preconceived notions like, yeah, this dude's a dick, unless you have all the other stuff. Because for me, I have only known of Austin St. John when it came to like all his previous con appearances, all the other stuff that he's done on there, his life post Power Rangers and things like that. And though he had like some good and bad takes on some, who doesn't have good and bad takes, from others' perspective anyway. Except that, Blade is apparently the best season. And
I have really good takes. I don't know what you're talking about. Like the Power Ranger comic books are peak. Freaking Massiverse is the best. Blade is the best. I also don't like to speak on things I don't know about. So I don't know about the home loan thing. I don't know everything about the court cases. That's so like, why am I going to talk about stuff I don't know about? Yeah,
and in terms of the court stuff, I literally know nothing outside of just what we found out. But then again, honestly, it would look like it would have been smarter people than Austin that would have been the ones
I was
handling
gonna say
the
that's the
cash
Fall
flow.
Guy. That's the celebrity name Fall Guy. Like that, we've seen it countless times.
So,
But I would say it with like when I do reviews or I talk about anything that like I'm not. If I was like, listen, I'm not the authority on this. I'm not really knowledgeable, so I'm gonna say something stupid. That's not. And if I have my wires crossed or facts out of line, let me know in the comments or just let me know, because if I don't know something, I try not to talk about it. But sometimes things I'm not fully knowledgeable on creep into content and conversations, and I'm like, hey, just let me know if I'm wrong about something. But I purposely choose not to talk about things I don't know about.
yeah.
And I will say, as someone who makes their own t-shirts and merch and clothing line, those t-shirts, even adding those, what I'm assuming is AI generated art, is ass. Like the new updated versions are trash. Like I hope those are still placeholders, because I'm looking at them right now.
Like I said, as of when I spoke to him this past Sunday, he hadn't even had a graphic designer hired yet. And even then, I doubt a graphic designer, if he hired them that very same Sunday, could pull some shit out of their ass that fast. It's like, no, that should take some time.
This is like the OG AI app. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm looking at these and I'm like, either with many pages deep into Google to take some images no one would see, or he just typed into ChatGPT 4.0, dude on mountain holding arms up, clouds bright, sunlight. Yay. Because I could tell instantly what some of these prompts would be. It's like Abraham Lincoln really tall, throwing spear at the sunlight. It's like, why the fuck is he throwing spear at the sun? Why is he that tall? I'm okay with it because it's kind of badass that we got a tall Abraham Lincoln, but like, what the hell?
Yeah, so the entire thing is really just, I'm just bringing a different perspective to this entire online discourse regarding that portion of the things that he's done, just because of my own interaction with him this past Sunday. Because, you know, a lot of people saying this stuff haven't spoken to him. I've had the luxury to at least speak with him and at least not come from a place of animosity. I just wanted to come from a place of understanding, which is why, you know, we had the powwow that we did. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay. So yes, anything else on that?
I'm just saying, all the controversy aside of this and that, like, yo, if anyone's gonna clip this, yo, just clip this part real quick and send it to me. Yo, listen, your shirts, they're kind of mid. Listen, let me help you out. Like, give me a percentage off the top. We get this whole wise leader wear that just doesn't roll off the tongues. Okay, like, I don't use AI in any of my artwork. Like, plus you need some good PR. Oh, what's better than, you know? Oh, let me help this Power Ranger fan make more money. And then, you know, we'll just forget all the other bad stuff. Like, we'll just forget all that stuff. Because, like, honestly, I like money and your shirts are horrible. And I'm literally going through it right now. And
I mean, they're not good shirts. We know that.
We talked about it last week. They're not good shirts.
See the update. Yeah. I didn't see the update with the images, though. I saw the ones that was just text. I didn't know he has graphics now. That's what's throwing me off. That's what's hurting my soul internally, is the level of trash. And then I'm on his full regular website, and he has more like other Ranger related merch than Red Ranger stuff on his own personal Austin St. John shop. And then apparently he has a high school ring from Jason that's over $400, and it doesn't even say Angel Grove High on it, which would be like the easiest thing to put on there and make it actually look like a school ring. Like, I don't understand his merch. Man, buy that ring. No, I'm not.
Should just make custom power coins like Steve and then just call it a day.
That is easy. Like, I feel like that's kind of like all of his stuff is like Angel Grove merch, like fake school merch, and some of it looks pretty cool. And then other times I'm like, no thanks. Like, he has a lot of stuff. Like, he has like a comic book company.
Yes.
Called Redemption Comics. I'm like, as a comic book guy, I'm like, how the hell did no one tell me this?
Yeah, I saw that as well. Because of course that's when his hashtag when he was posting up about being at the convention. Because I was like, what the hell is this redemption spelled with a one in there? And then I clicked on it and it was his comic line.
It's 2024. We do not use numbers to offset letters anymore. I'm just throwing it out there. Grown adults now. It's not AIM instant messenger usernames where we have to use numbers because the letters were already taken.
But it's all in caps, so the one blends in where the I should be.
I still know it's a one. And I'm gonna look into this comic thing though. I'm gonna make a video on that.
Oh, there you go.
Not the other stuff. The other stuff I have a whole, well, we talked about it at Discord. I have a whole like 15-minute video that like I'm glad I didn't make go live because it was shortly like I was gonna put it going live the same day that like, and then I realized like an hour later his shop went live and there were no Hitler shirts and this and that. And I was like, oh, my video's not needed anymore. I'm just gonna not make that go live.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People act like he said that he was gonna make Hitler shirts and then he put out a line that didn't have Hitler shirts. But when you watch the clip, he didn't actually say that he was gonna do that. He was
just using examples of
yeah.
But and I get like for every like 5 to 10 positive historical figures, there's one bad one that just sticks with you. That like the names are like synonymous with evil guys. So it's like I get this like, oh, we have Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Patrick Swayze, all these other people that it's
and
like,
then you've got the axis of power, and then it's just like, those. If you've watched anything dealing with World War II, which for a good while, like that was all that Call of Duty was. For a while, that's all that History Channel was. Like World War II is like that war that just is ingrained in some people's minds just because of how heavily it was focused on. It's like, shit, I know more about World War II than World War I. I barely know shit about World War I in comparison.
I actually, well, no, I don't. But I never claimed to be a historian or a historical buff, so it's out of my wheelhouse.
I definitely know a lot more about the Civil War because that was definitely a large thing in grade school. So
speaking of, I would have saved spoilers for when I do my review. I saw it. I saw that movie. Peak cinema. Better than Godzilla and Kong.
I mean, was the action as great, though?
Yes, it was actually.
Well,
was it as bad looking?
All right. So moving on. I mean, unless Ash has any more takes. Ash, you're the one that's been pulling out video after video on Austin St. John. So I'm just like,
I made 3, and they were weeks apart.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was like, you didn't do that.
Yeah. Where's that new one? Where's the one for this week?
Like, I don't know. I'm leaving that. I'm leaving that to Henry.
Henry's
fucking killing it. Are you gonna go on Henry's interview, Mark?
No, I don't know. I never talked to him. I don't know.
I never told
really who he is.
And I went on there. Like I'm still like I feel like he maybe like I don't know. Like I feel like maybe he should have apologized instead of like blocking everyone online and acting like it never happened. And then with the whole Powermorphicon, it's not only the Austin thing, it's also Jason David Frank's son who is going to be there.
Why? He's not a Power Ranger?
Why he's not allowed near kids?
Yeah. He's not a Power Ranger, but he shouldn't be allowed near kids.
His video's already demonetized now.
That's not break. That doesn't break TOS.
We'll see.
I think I'll find out once this thing passes all the checks, if it passes the checks. I know the stream from 2 weeks ago has ads blocked.
Like you could say something and then like weeks later you'll get hit with like the yellow dollar sign. I've had videos where years later stuff got hit with the yellow dollar sign. But yeah, like hearing the conversation you had with him, I feel like I don't know, there's a lot to take in. I'm still on my stance that he should have not said it. He should have just maybe not pitched that idea. I understand if you're spitballing ideas, that's the idea. He should have not spitballed. But yeah, I don't think he's a Nazi or anything like that, or a Hitler endorser, or anything like that. I just feel like he pitched a very shitty idea, and I feel like he should at least made a statement saying that he misspoke or something like that, because now it's spiraled into what it is now.
Yeah, and the thing is, I figure people probably blowing up, like tagging him and stuff, is definitely not good for anybody's mental state. Like they definitely will get fully frazzled. But I mean, knowing that he himself was a military guy, like for the United States, like who would condone like that, you know, Hitler in general after serving in the US military? Fuck no, that was like public enemy number one for a while. So, but even then, like a lot of people that are in the military, they know their military history, that type of shit. So, but I don't know. I feel like even if he did put out a video, people will still end up just looking at the negatives for it. And that's what, not only that, but if he did put it out, and let's say he put it out on like his main like fan word like shit that he normally pulls out.
I think fan word's different, but yeah.
Then that kind of exposes something that is mostly isolated to a very niche community to the broad audience. And that's a different can of worms whatsoever, because now you're taking something that existed in a bubble and then you expand it into a larger mainstream scope. So that I could see why he wouldn't make a video for it. He could make a statement, but even then, he makes a statement. What's going to happen? A lot of people are going to comment on it. Hey. Wouldn't stop.
Oh, that's the thing too. It's like I see some of the people he's blocked. They've been, because it's that thing where like, oh, I got blocked by a person. Let me screenshot. They blocked me, and you know, be like this. But like when you see some of the people kind of deserved it, because like when you're being like outlandishly disrespectful and like borderline harassing someone for answers, and they block you, that makes sense, you know. I mean, like, so I was like, yeah, like, do I personally block anyone? No, I have a few people muted, but like, I was like, whatever. Like, but I could see it from the standpoint of like, if there's a lot of people, I want to say milking this. Ash is not one of those. 3 videos in a couple weeks. Like, honestly, if I had more time and I care, like, and I had the energy to do it, I probably would have been like a lot of other drama YouTubers. I'd put out a video every day about it. Be like, he ate cereal this morning, but he didn't say he condemned Hitler. I was like, wow, what kind of man is this? Like, I would have just made, like, I would have milked it, monetized the hell out of it. But there are some people I've seen that have just gone out of their way, and that's like all they're obsessed with like over the last few weeks, and nothing else like exists in the world, is just the fact that Austin St. John like has addressed it publicly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's excessive. So I get some
people do make that their entire thing, and for some folks, at least looking at some of the people that are definitely driving a lot of this, I mean, we're old enough to remember the original MMPR, so we were there. We're the demographic at the time, while a lot of the people coming after him came well after that season, so they don't have the nostalgia factor that we do, to the point of like, this guy was, you know, for a lot of people, their hero. He's the reason why I love red, black, and gold, like, because he was all of that. And I was like, I'm meeting the guy. Like, at some point, like a sensory trigger hits in my brain. It's just like, I'm 4 years old again, watching original Power Rangers. This is the guy. Back when I was watching in a black and white TV and didn't know color TV was really a thing. And then the second that I got color TV, and I was like, red. True story. First time I watched Power Rangers was in black and white TV. So,
I was around the same time. The big one with the big dial that you had to turn. Yeah, I had a black one. Yeah, no, I shortly, because I was watching that and then seeing Looney Tunes in color. I lost my shit the first time that happened. I was like, what? All right, that's pretty cool. But no, that's the thing is too. Like, I'm old enough to when I first met him in 2015, I was like, oh my god.
I met him in 2015 as well. Like, and he was the first Ranger that I met. So I have that nostalgia as well. It's just like when this first popped off, it's like, it's crazy to see your heroes say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only tweet I put out. It was like, you know what? I'm 38 at that age now where like my childhood heroes I watched growing up, not all of them are nice people. Some of them are scumbags. And I wasn't that's a very open-end thing. So it's like, is that my opinion? I would say, I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, like, yeah, there's a lot of people I grew up watching that are just end up being horrible people.
Yes.
And some vilified for going to a movie theater in LA. And the next thing you know, freaking Pee Wee Herman's canceled. Paul Rubens isn't acting. And I'm like, dude, sir, just went to go enjoy a movie. Like,
plus the movie kind of endorsed doing what he was doing there.
Dude, I was like, he was tricked. I was like, where's the justice for Pee Wee?
Yeah, you got, politicians doing handies in the theaters and getting slapping the wrist.
How do you do that during Beetlejuice?
Definitely.
How do you do that during Beetlejuice Live, by the way? How do you do that during a Beetlejuice musical? I don't understand that. Like, I haven't seen the musical yet. I want to, so it's good.
Also, I am looking at the updated merch line, and this looks like shittier than the demotivational posters we used to make back in the 2000s. That's what that looks like. It's still not as good. This is, oh my God. What? Definitely needs a graphic designer. Definitely needs proper graphic designer.
Yeah.
This ain't
it, fam.
You should have made
for $25. No.
Speaking of,
I put more effort into my Spanner like salt shirts that aren't selling than this shit.
You should have kept the Meanwhile Sononi's up.
Meanwhile Sononi is up on the merch shop. It is.
I thought you closed everything down.
No, it's there.
I gotta
open it back up. You open back up for another gimmick.
I opened it back up just for the Spanner L shirts. Only like Ghosty, who's probably in chat, bought a shirt. He's the only one because I could see you sold one shirt. Oh, it was Ghosty because he showed he showed the receipts. So
listen, you got to go full in on the merch line. Do wonders. You too, Ash. Gotta get you on a merch line.
Yeah, I thought about it just to see after what Austin put out. I was like, I can make something better.
See,
look, I'm good at selling other shit, just not myself. I can't sell myself.
We'll see, guys. All we're gonna get.
If I did, I'd be working the street corner.
No,
so
you can make shirts. Don't worry. Like, listen, Bandai's only gonna give us SH figure arts going forward for freaking Kamen Rider and Toku stuff. No more DX items and nothing like that. So, might as well just start your own merch line of.
Wait. No more DX items.
Apparently, it's just SH figure arts.
Yeah, so that is one of the things that made the rounds this week is just the fact that Bandai is definitely not selling any more of the stuff that we like buying usually.
The cheap stuff.
Yeah, so that's going to be we're going to be seeing those jacked up prices on certain websites when it comes to shit now. Probably a more limited availability on stuff. But I mean, you'll get it sooner because you wouldn't have to wait for the USA release. But the thing is, a lot of folks waited for the USA release of things because it would be a cheaper price label. I mean, I had no problems waiting an additional 2-3 months if it was saving me $50. So that is a dumb business decision, especially after the whole Team Kamen Rider thing kind of went to shit.
Yeah,
I've heard stories. Yeah,
same.
Yeah, so because of that, and then that just makes things even harder if you're trying to buy things off Amazon. Good luck. It's probably going to be now third-party sellers.
So
the entire time.
Here's the exact thing that was like confirmed, 100% confirmed that Bandai will not import Kamen Rider toys anymore except Tamashi SH figure arts. I guess the offers files because there's all like the toy where they have to do all the rights and stuff. But yeah, they decided to discontinue DX toys in the States. Obviously this is just Kamen Rider because Bandai has the whole deal with Ultraman, so Ultraman is going to start being in freaking Target and Walmart at some point this year. They got that huge toy deal, so all you people who make fun of Ultraman.
I want to know their actual metrics. I want to know the US sales figures. Because that's the thing. It's like when we look at the toy sales ourselves, that's just, overall, general. Sometimes, because I always look at the video game like sales and and they always put up like how well it did in the States, how well it did in Europe, how well it did in Japan, how well it did in others. But those would be like the big three. So I would love to see that for Rider toys is how bad was the US sales that would justify that?
Here's how I see it. A lot of people who would be like, oh yay, we're getting toys and this and that. From a content creator standpoint, we do our unboxes and reviews sometimes for big season starting items. But let's face it, when I'm doing all my reviews and toy stuff like this, a lot of stuff I get isn't available US, or when it does come to US, the time gap is so much. It's just like, do I wait for plus with Bai as a proxy service and Mercari and Amazon Japan, sometimes you're not really spending more. Especially with the CSMs. I think the US release for CSMs have been atrociously overpriced at stores.
Well, absolutely, especially by over $100, sometimes $200 of what their actual cost is.
At the official Bandai flagship store in San Diego, they have the Decade, not the complete 21K touch one, just the regular Decade CSM for $380. Just base by itself, no extra stuff. I'm like, what? They have the double re-release CSM, like the 1.5 CSM or whatever. They have that, and that's like $300 also. I'm like, this is $150. So this is, and also all the people on social media like, yay, we got US stuff coming to the US, this and that. They're excited about it, but they're not going to wait for the SH Figure Arts. They're not waiting for the toys. They're still getting them from Japan. So it's like you're online hyping this up, going to buy them, but I guarantee you the sales are low because Kamen are still very niche, and a lot of us are online. And let's face it, I see everyone else still ordering from Japan and posting their Bai hauls when this stuff is coming out, in a few months. And I was like, I get it. I wouldn't release the toys here either. I'm like, y'all are fickle. You'll want them and then you don't buy them.
The thing is, it's just very weird how we went from 3 years ago being able to say buy Kamen Rider shit from a GameStop to now it's just like, oh no, nothing. You got to go jump through hoops.
That's really good thing about GameStop. Them clearance prices though.
Ooh.
That Amazon CSM, the Sengoku CSM. Oh, I was so happy when they were doing that. Oh yeah, bonus 50% off clearance. I'm like, y'all are stupid. Do you know what a CSM is?
That also means that when you go to conventions, all the Toku shit's going to be extra expensive. It was already expensive, but now it's going to be jacked up even more.
It depends, because there is a website. They have an online shop. They go to a lot of conventions in Southern California called Anime Jungle. They had a booth at PMC. I got Sengoku. I got the O's driver. I got the Forze one. That's not $24 each. Working condition, near mint. And I was like, oh. So it always depends. But the ones that you go that have the new unboxed stuff and this and that, because I assume this is big news for people who do have their sites like Toku Lactables, Big Bad Toy Store, because now they don't have to compete with Amazon. Let's face it, Big Bad Toy Store. I know you guys don't have to make a statement about it. They are too happy about it, but they are so overpriced. I would never order from them ever.
Did you know with Big Bad Toy Store, I pre-ordered the Lightning Collection Reader and the Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Black over a year ago. That shit is still in pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store.
Wow.
I'm not shocked, honestly. I'm not from Big Bad Toy.
Because of lack of stock and stuff like that. So
real quick from Vin Vin. Vinvin108 says, yeah, my input is I buy lots of Japanese releases or secondhand on Bai or Mercari. Thanks, Mark. They can't get an accurate read on how much we actually buy. So I guess, if you are buying it a lot secondhand and auction, and the thing is, I know on my own server, there are plenty of people that are buying their shit secondhand as well, for ludicrously low prices as well. A lot of those buyer's remorse people out there just, there it is. I don't want it anymore. That type of shit. Then, some people don't understand. Yes, the secondhand market does not benefit the main manufacturer. So if you are buying a lot of this stuff secondhand, which, sometimes, yes, a deal's a deal. Yeah. Can't help it. Unless you're one of those people that just wants it day one. usually one of those people when it comes to some things, but not everything.
Yeah, I've been getting better at that because I was always like, I need this day, but like now I'm just like, no, unless I'm getting a good deal, like, and I'll choose like the less expensive shipping, so I don't mind if it takes a little over a week instead of my 3 days to get here.
Like things like CSMs and things like that. Like I would definitely want to get that like as soon as I can, because there's always a chance that maybe I can't get it afterwards.
Yeah.
Or that the secondhand version just doesn't work. Like, you know how many 5 CSMs are now up online because they're the shit ones?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I could get myself a 5 CSM for it doesn't work. I'd have to resolder the battery compartments, and do I want to do that? I don't know. Probably not. So yeah. So I really am curious about the full metrics regarding that, but I'm assuming that probably the cost of the import didn't justify the total price, because yes, like you said, there were a lot of clearances that we saw at like GameStop and things like that, and those were the Team Kamen Rider releases to the West. So if there were that much that ended up getting clearanced out, then that means that people definitely weren't buying them. So if there's anyone to blame, it's y'all for not buying shit.
Yeah. Blame the brokes. Blame the poors.
Yeah.
Y'all were like, we want this over here. Oh, but I don't want to spend that kind of money.
Yeah. Like,
which is why I know that Mark always got hounded for giveaways.
Oh my God, I hate that.
I see you got some news. You got plenty of doubles, my guy. So, giveaways?
Dude, even if it wasn't doubles, people would be like, ooh. I'm like, no.
No handouts here.
No.
Spend money. If you spent the money to begin with, then we wouldn't be in this situation anyway.
Right? I'm also curious because like, so I see a lot of people talking because like if you went through like Shout Factory, the Geats Blu-rays got shipped out and the Amazon ones are coming out, and I like how it was already on sale down to like $70 already, and I'm still just like, bro, you got no V cinemas, you got nothing. It's just the base show is like no specials. Like I it might be the only one I don't buy right away, and I'll wait till it drops down to like $20, like because Ryuki and all the even Black has dropped down in price, and Black for a while there never went on sale. And I'm just like, the only one I'm not, Kamen Rider. It went it's either at 70 or 78, which is down from the nearly $100 price tag it originally had.
That price of new show, since it was,
Speaking of bad graphic design, you just see the Blu-ray cover.
Yes, we talked about it when we saw it. Like
I know.
I was like, of all the posters, how did they get the one that still had the Japanese text on it? And who were like keep that Japanese text on there. There's plenty of versions of that poster that doesn't have it, and y'all pick that. Wow.
We had clear versions of with no text on it because we were using all that shit for like our thumbnails when it was announced. Like we had blank, like.
Wait,
so
really?
I have a blank one, yeah. But
no, I mean,
the
Blu-ray.
Yeah, so it's
they did. Holy shit!
Yep.
Is that what it looks like physically? Because I know that because with the 01, they used the 01 poster and they had like a clean text. They had like original graphics. Jeez, that's almost as bad as if they like used the first Geats poster where it was like only Geats on the poster and the other writers went on it. That's crazy.
I'm not looking forward to when they ultimately release Blade because I'm like, you guys are gonna butcher that cover. I'm gonna make my own custom slip cover for it because
I feel like Toei might have enough like Blade.
I'm on their website now, so it is $80 right now on their website. And this box looks worse than I remembered. Why is Kamen Rider Geats on here twice? And I'm not saying the writer, I'm saying the text. Why is it on there twice? Why do they have the Japanese like logo at the bottom right hand side, and then on the top they just have an English Kamen Rider? That's so bad. terrible.
Yeah.
Yes, if people want the context, let me.
Yeah, and I do believe like what I said before, Geats has been streaming on like what their Pluto TV, Tubi, and one other place, and I'm like, no one's gonna buy it if it's on demand. They should have stopped all that on demand shit. They need to stop the 24-hour streaming channel because I'm sorry, I don't know how much monetization they get from it, but it can't be much. But it's like you're ruining your sales. Ugh,
Like, look at this shit.
ass.
Look at that shit. Like, why have the logo here and then up here as well?
So
then
it's
you
$1.
don't get rid of this fucking text here. This should have been like, hell, you could have used Photoshop's like, removal tool to get rid of that. Even though, once again, there's posters that don't have that text on there. They didn't even do the basic Photoshop job just to get that up there. And this is $80 down from $100.
Yeah. I originally was going to pre-order this on Crunchyroll, and then it came down to like $200 Australian.
No.
I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm canceling my order right now. I like Geats. I enjoyed Geats, but I'm not paying $200 for a single Blu-ray.
No,
that I can barely watch because I need a region-free Blu-ray player.
Do you have a PS5?
It's not region locked. Only for the PS5 is the PS5 is region locked when it comes to Blu-rays and DVDs.
Oh, so it's a PS4, right?
No, I think it's the PS3 that might be region free. I know that it's 4K that is region free, so it's your 4Ks you got to import.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure because, I mean, I haven't imported any real and I still have my PS3.
Oh, Ryuki's on sale for $31.99. I might have to bite on that. It's a good deal.
You get the director's cut with that one.
Yeah, I think it might be cheaper on Amazon. Check Amazon because I know I've seen it go down to $24 with Prime shipping. That's $7 extra.
I've not gotten that.
I've gotten all of them except for Geats. Like the only one that I spent money on that I had buyer's remorse for at first was V3.
Well, something that they did the same thing with Kuga and Ryuki's Blu-rays. And I guess the logo down here with that, but at least this looked like way better. This looks way better than the Geats poster because there's no additional Japanese text to it. Though the Kamen Rider 01 one, the weird part about it, even though the text is centralized, is the fact that right underneath Kamen Rider 01, it says Kamen Rider 01. That's the only part in which I was like, why'd you do that? Like, what? Why? Because I have the poster, because when I bought it, I got one of the ones that came with the poster, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. Why y'all do that? At least it's minimized enough to the point of if you don't really catch it, it doesn't bother you. But with Geats, it completely bothers me.
Yeah. Damn, it's been 2 years since that came out.
That's crazy. I think I'm missing the Kuga one, and I'm missing a couple of Sentai ones because they're scattered all over the place.
Yeah, I got lucky and I found the Sentai ones when FYU was about to close. So they were like, super... Wait, what was that? Killer Clowns from Outer Space? What is that? I'm going to go on there.
Is that Steelbook?
Everyone knows that's my favorite horror movie. I have a Killer Clowns from Outer Space shelf now on my display with 1-to-1 scale replica weapons.
Shout Factory put out some. I think it's Shout Factory and Arrow. Arrow's the UK one. They put out some pretty good.
Oh, there's so many different ones. I'm going to buy that this big set that has all of everything. Oh, I need that. I'm going to go buy that.
No, Shout Factory and Arrow are pretty good. Arrow put out this really cool Ju-On collection for The Grudge. Where you get, where I think you get all of them up to the black and white ones that never came here, where it's the black and white version of the Grudge movies. Not black and white color, but there's two different stories. Yeah. And that's just before the reboot came out in the 2010s when they started doing Sadako 3D and stuff like that.
I did well, as long as we don't watch that crossover with The Girl from the Ring. And
we're going to watch. I've said to Zio, we are going to get you drunk, and we are going to watch the crossover between The Grudge and the Grudge from the Ring.
I have it. I have an English sub, so
I have it English subbed as well. It's
Look,
so,
me and horror
so
movies
bad.
don't mesh. So yes, you're
Dude,
gonna
this
have
is
to
not
get
a
me
horror
black
movie.
out. You're gonna have
It's
to
not
get
even
me
a horror
black the
movie.
fuck out for
I'd
that
say
to work.
I'd say we stream it, but we don't want another controversy.
Yeah.
How is this sold out? It's not even out yet until May. You know, I'm at the. I gotta email.
You better fight somebody for it.
I gotta email someone to shout about this because I'm the Killer Clowns from Outer Space guy. Like, you can't just tell me there's a cool collector's edition that's sold. Oh, the more expensive one's not sold out. Never mind.
So yeah, outside of Bandai just fucking us in the States and all the other shit, superhero time this week.
Did they really? Wait, did they really screw us though, or is this like a Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart situation?
I mean, we'll see once we start looking at the pricing for the releases that we can't get a hold of US wise anymore.
I feel like we should. Honestly, what I want to see is once the Ultraman merch is fully rolled out, which will probably be towards summer. That's when they're going to start doing everything, because they said halfway through 2024 into 2025. Once we start seeing the actual like Ultraman stuff in brick and mortar shops and everything else, like fully supported by Bandai, that's when I'm really curious, because I've already seen, you know, Target's remodeling their section with like the SH figure arts for like Dragon Ball and Naruto and stuff like that. Like, there's full anime sections now at Target and Walmart.
I've heard
end cap.
I've heard those figure arts you get at Walmart is not as good as ones you get on Amazon, because they don't come with all the faces and the hands. From what I've seen with a couple of TikToks,
they're more like, when you see the model kits, like the entry grade model kits compared to like master grade. These are like just if you just want the character, you don't want all the customizations, you just want a base good action figure.
Yeah. I'm looking at comics again. I might chat to Mark
real quick, and of course we're not on the topic yet, but Gene for $5 says Toku Rewind was fun. Technically, you mean superhero time, because they're referring to me losing it because of the Geats films that we watched.
I have not seen it yet. Shit, I was on the list. I was busy.
Nah, you don't need to.
We're about to spoil the fuck out of it for you, because it's not worth it. Because yes, it had retconned after retconned, and it had things that really should have been in the show, but we'll get to it once we get to it. But I got really heated, and I was just like, yeah, I was like, I'm not drunk enough for this shit. Like, after that, I was like, all right, let's get on Discord, let's talk about this fucking train wreck. And I was just pounding drinks. So yes, the after party for that was definitely a thing.
Something.
So was definitely a thing. But man, I was there was someone that put out a very positive review about the film yesterday, and I was just like, I gotta get into this comment section real fast. I was like, I hated this film.
It's trash.
And they were like, why? People? And I was just like, there's a laundry list. But first of all, I don't know. I mean, I'll get to it once we get to it. Get to it once we get to it. Anyone see Godchart?
No.
God damn it.
Watch Boonboomger. It's better.
Yeah.
I mean, Godchart's actually doing shit now. That's the thing.
know, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe if it's because like for years it's been just every week Kamen Rider, write a review, film a review, then Kamen Rider, then now talking about it on Fridays as well as when I do the, and maybe I just need a break from Kamen Rider. I mean, it's not Kamen Rider, it's me. Like, I just,
the thing is, it's like, yeah, I agree. Even with the looks like it's finally getting plot, lore, all that shit. Finally, you know, we're 30 episodes in. Finally, it's happening. But is it gonna actually be a thing, or because right now we're at the beginning of what could be another 2-episode arc, and I'm just like, are we gonna get the instant payoff next week? So I'm still waiting this weekend to see how this episode plays up to decide whether or not I'm going to go ahead and cut a review for the last 3 episodes, or wait, because Godchart has that issue of paying things off almost instantly after introducing it. So Musa Muteki says, Gotcha, Ship Wars Edition, because it was. Once again, we are starting to get a love triangle kind of formulate because we had Hotaru have a childhood friend pop up. We're back in school. And I got who?
What school?
Yeah,
which
apparently
one?
they were on summer break the whole time because he's a whole new grade. And I'm like, really? What? But y'all just came back. Y'all just had your New Year's episode.
Had they passed the grade and graduate to the next year level,
Never
they
showed.
never showed up.
Was it the first episode of Good Chart, like the first day of
First
school
day of
when he had
school,
to pick
yeah.
out his like what he wanted to do his future?
Yeah,
and everything?
exactly. Yeah. So they've
They
skipped,
slick. They
and
can't, no.
we're already in a new school year, new grade. Minato's now their teacher again because we memory rewrote everybody.
What is he,
and
Mr.
now he's there.
Feeney? Where he's their teacher every year and no one questions it all the way until college?
And then he shows up in college.
Yeah, and then he marries the dean.
Yeah.
That becomes their teacher. Nah, that's I don't like this time, whatever their shenanigans.
So yeah, it's a new year at school and first day of school. Hey, we got a new transfer student, and it happens to be a girl that Hotaru already knew that they had history together, that type of shit. And Rine is definitely big jealous regarding it. And we start seeing it in her face, all that. She's even cool with Hotaru's mom. That's how you know they were actually like schlick back in the day. The fact that she's good with moms and she approves, and Rine definitely feeling some kind of way. And then, she even asked her, it's just like, so you and Hotaru hooking up? And she was like, nah, we ain't hooking up. Great. That gives more of him for me. That type of shit. And you're like, man, it's okay though. I mean, she was the thirsty girl from the Fives film, so it's all right. It's on brand. Hopefully she's not typecast to be this kind of character going forward, that every time we see her pop up in a Toku, it's always being thirsty girl. But yes,
Probably.
we did get some seed plants here because we do have like Lactis and Kyoka in the alchemist schoolroom with Minato. So I'm just like, oh, everybody just out here. Like Minato's got himself a little harem that he's working up as well. It's like, okay, do it, my guy.
Wait, so everyone except for the little girl villain is good now?
Not really, because Clotho is still on the bad side. Lactis is on the good side for now. We don't know exactly the full.
Was Lactis the Amazon chick?
No. This is the one that we all be
one?
drinking to. This is the one that we're all,
I haven't watched the show in a while. I forget who's who.
I did the wrong thing. Did the wrong one.
That was like,
I pressed the wrong one again. See, I have like two screens to my soundboard, and the buttons literally shifted over from one screen to the other screen. So I'm used to pressing the one button, and then it's just like, oh, but in this one, it's the back button, so it throws me off.
See, you should have got the XL one with the mixer built into it. I told you that one's so good. I don't use mine, but I can tell you it's good. If I was going to use it, I'd use it.
So the entire thing here is, of course, she is a traitor to the sisters and the amalgams and all that stuff. And Atropos is definitely accelerating whatever her plans are. But instantly, Clotho busts into the school. Not the actual school, but the alchemist school portion of it. The one with the one classroom. So, it's really a school. And is there to bust in on Lactis. But Lactis just says, it's like, we're different from Atropos, the two of us. We're like, she's built different. Why are we adults and she's still a girl after 20 years? That type of shit. And then later on in the episode, we kind of get the admission from Atropos that she is Gideon's daughter. But the thing is, it's like, we kind of already assumed that the three sisters were his daughters, but it made it seem like she was his literal daughters, and the other two were just creations that he put together, that type of thing. Since, he's made all the amalgams, and we know that the amalgams, the ones that we've encountered, the gold ones, were like their brothers. That's the way that they saw them. But Atropos is just built different. So that's the big seed plant that we're getting there, is this, that Atropos might have some more lore. And I'm thinking on the aspect that since we have had flashbacks to 10 years ago and she was a little kid then, maybe she was his daughter, something happened, and maybe he tried bringing her back. And the problem is, what we have here is someone that is literally ageless because of the way that he brought her back. So now I'm just like, okay, you guys are getting me thinking again. You guys have me formulating, concocting, and you know, the shit that I normally like doing at the end of my reviews is speculation. And you guys are giving me something here, but, and this is the issue with Gotchard, is it going to get instantly paid off in the next episode? Because that is the formula of Gotchard. They don't let anything linger too long. They just instantly bring it up and pay it off the next episode, which doesn't allow any moment of proper cooking. So that's my concern. That's why I'm waiting to see how this weekend's episode plays out, so I can see if, okay, maybe they are going to start playing the long game on some things and pay off some of these seeds later on. But if you pay it off right away, then I'll be a little disappointed from that aspect. So Rene's jealousy is out of place to me. I mean, if we want to assume that her and Hotaru have been hanging out for a whole school year, running around doing alchemy shit, maybe there is a closeness that she started building with him. We don't know. It could have been one of those, it's a relationship that started building off of screen, which is a cheap way to do it. And if this was the plan the entire time, which honestly, that's what everybody was assuming, that Hotaru and Rina were going to end up together anyway, especially when people were speculating that, you know, Gotchard Fire was fucking like their son from the future. But no, it was just future Hotaru. So yeah, that's the entire thing going on there, and you missed it all, Mark. But then again, you're like, eh.
I'm legit 2 episodes behind too, which is like crazy. I'm not even that far behind. Like, I don't know. I've been holding off and watching like them as 2 episode arcs and this and that. Like,
yes, Gotchard Daybreak. I missaid the name because he only showed up for 2.5 episodes, and that was it. Didn't stay long enough for him to properly cook. And that's the issue of Gotchard. They hang around for like 2 episodes. That's about it. So, but Boonboomger this week, finally out here, back in the weekly review grind for it.
Mm-hmm.
Got these Boom Boom Drags. We had Mad Rex get introduced in here, transform a whole junky ass public toilet into one of them fancy Japanese, you know, toilet with the bidet. Got the sprinkles. It's got the fucking buttons on there. Got all the fixings in there. And I'm just like, damn, out here working the magic. But then I realized he left out of the fucking bathroom. And I'm like, but there was one toilet in there. And you just transformed it. How'd you do your business? Like, where did maybe the pipe exposed in the ground? Maybe he just, I don't know. I mean, he does have a dog on him. Maybe
on the side.
I mean, he does have a dog always on him, so maybe he just carries around doggy bags that we just haven't seen. Maybe he's got a hidden compartment, just pulls out the doggy like poop bag, scoops up his own poop. Or maybe it's the dog that had to go, and he's already used to scooping the poop.
And the dog's in a pocket anyway, so it's probably like just in there, floating.
No, because the side on the right hip looks like it could be the ass side.
Probably just comes out of the side of his like thigh. He's just sitting there, just like.
You think he does the old like I gotta go to the side just so it goes and not runs down the leg?
Oh no, he has to lean. You have to lean. A dribble effect, this and that. No.
Can't pull it out like a horse. They just out here letting it go like.
Yeah.
But yes, another kind of Joe focused episode, but it was more like Joe Chashido because Chashido didn't trust this man. And it's just like, ain't no way this man's as squeaky clean as he is. And I'm just like, squeaky clean cop? Ain't no way. 2024? Ain't no way. All the people he's helped out a lot of folks. I don't know how he made them two swole guys, one of them being Yasunobu from Blaze Art.
Yeah, I did not notice until your review.
I brought that up in mine. I was like, oh, look at that. I was like, he's showing his abs again.
Yep.
You're welcome.
He's actually able to show his abs again because, of course, he's only done it a handful of times.
He's not playing the nerdy guy.
Yep. And he's not out here, fucking a laundry machine. So we're good.
Implied. Okay. The man, no, he was. He was definitely.
Absolutely. She didn't like the way. Like, he didn't like the way that she was being touched by them aliens in that episode. I'm just saying.
No, that's true.
So, but I'm just like, Joe gave them workout advice. Now I'm just like, now I got to see a picture of this man shirtless because I'm like, there is no way that you're out here like giving advice and you're not shredded yourself. Like,
Watch he is, and it's ridiculous.
I mean, the way that he dresses, he wears the big baggy overall, so it's very possible. I mean, the last time I got
like Finn Balor.
Like, luckily, because this is another thing, we got the new trailer out for the crossovers between King Oger and Dom Brothers and Kyoruger, but we see like the Boski out here about to sumo wrestle Jiro, and we know Jiro, his actor, shredded as fuck. Like, that man was super shredded. He took them shots like, check out this shit type shit. They proud of that too. Yeah. When they're out here just like built like a JoJo's character, they're out here like showing it off nonstop. Yeah. So I'm just like where's this man's showing off like JoJo's?
That was like Blades from Saber. Everyone was like caught off guard when he was like ripped. And they're like, this man, the one who never gets Maisie Claire's, is ripped. It's like, yeah.
I mean, he was shirtless multiple times within, and then of course the crossover with Revice. Yeah, I'm just like we've gotten like shirtless Blades multiple times.
Yeah.
So we just we didn't get anything like that in Geats though.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. We didn't get a lot of things in Geats.
No. It would have been Girori that would have been out here just rocking the Conan the Barbarian. Just out here. Super out there. Honestly, when it comes to Boonboomger, like, I don't know, unless someone has the inside info, which ones of the fellas do you think is just like cut? Like completely cut? Is it Joe? Is it Gemba?
Oh, it's definitely Joe.
Is it Chashiro? I don't think it's Taya. I'm not gonna put, because the kid's only like what, 19? I don't know. It's possible, but I don't think he's got the discipline to get fully cut like that.
He's got metabolism on his side. We all know when you have the metabolism, you don't care.
I'm sure once those photo books come out, we'll find out like Ace's actor, Gates.
I'm thinking it's possibly Genba's actor because he's got the face. When someone gets like so low in body fat content that their face just has a whole different shape. Yeah, it's like it's in there, and he kind of has that face. So I'm assuming it's going to be Genba in terms of that aspect. So, but yeah, he definitely is a goody two shoes. And one of the things about the toilet monster is that when it splashes you with the bidet, it makes you clean and just expose your innermost self. And for some folks, it's admitting their faults. For other folks, like these guys, these swole ass guys, it's like one's just like, I've got the best biceps in the world, and the other one's like, I got the best abs in the world, and they're just out here flexing. And I was just like, yeah, I got to do the fucking Rhythm Heaven Fever ringside meme with these. I know it's been like 12 years, but I was just like, that was my first thought. As soon as I saw this, I was like, you guys striking the poses. This is it. I got to do this bit. Little did I know that it would take me like 2.5 days to do it, but still. Because I had to trace every single one of their frames.
Oh shit.
on
Not me.
Premiere
Nope.
Pro. So that's the thing. It's like every frame it's just like adjusted just a tiny bit. Okay, all right. Next frame adjusted just a tiny bit. So that's why that shit took forever. So yeah, that was the big thing about that particular monster, which in this case, when it splashes Joe, Joe's just the same. Joe's he's not playing the bit. It's just how he is.
Yep.
But then when it splashes Shashido, he becomes completely a different guy. Turns out that his entire like cool guy investigator vibe was just completely fake. And yeah, he's very similar to. They're both very hot-blooded when they get into their action. And I was just like, you know what? That's great. That's fun. It's all right. Tai, on the other hand, was tied up fighting Mad Rex the entire time. And I will give that fight some props because the tire hover, that shit was clean as fuck. I was like, that it's nice. I like that. I like that.
I always complain because I was like, man, like they have the tires on their shoes and on their back. I was like, I want to see some more cool like how that's implemented in fight sequences. And I was like, dude, that Mad Rex fight did not disappoint. I was like, I need more of them one-on-one because even though Mad Rex is like the antagonist, he's kind of like, okay, yeah, he's like, you're good. What's your name? He's like, all right, we're gonna do this again. I gotta walk my dog. And I'm like, all right, he kind of respects him a bit. And I'm like, I need them to fight a few more times.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm wondering if they're gonna pull a whole this is his rival for like the majority of the show type villain.
Yeah.
Like what we got with Juzo and Shinkanger and that kind of shit where we just had that character. But I'm like, I'm not getting fully that vibe yet because we don't know shit about Taya yet. Like we're episode 6. We haven't gotten an episode focused on Taya yet. So we still don't know this man's. He's the one on the team that we know the least about currently. And then next episode, we're getting Gemba. So less time of us even seeing what Tai is really fully about.
I was really hoping we would have gotten at least one more episode before Genba becoming Boon Orange, just because even though this was a Joe heavy episode, and I even said it in my review of episode 5, I was like, now he's Boon Black. I was like, I hope we don't rush and the next episode is Orange. Like at least give it 1 or 2 more episodes because I want to like so we can get to know Joe. Because like I'm glad towards the end of episode 4 and going in episode 5 they didn't make him such a joke character. Like he wasn't in a dress, he wasn't getting his bike cut in half. He was actually like a competent person. So I was like, I kind of like that we got one. I was like, but now I see like Genba next week. I was like, man, I kind of want 1 more episode before.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's still
the thing.
Good.
Usually in Sentai tropes, it's like the first 5 episodes are to flesh out the team, and then the 6th episode is usually a Red focused episode. And we didn't get that here. Red was sidelined. But then we got Orange coming in next episode, so I'm like, okay, so with Gemba joining the squad, that means that the next episode after that one is probably going to be the team trying to get Genba, like trying to understand, like work him into their equation. Whether or not he has already been working with Taya ahead of time before Chashido even joined the crew, we don't know. Or maybe Chashido already has had encounters because once again, we don't know much about Taya himself. So that's kind of the big question mark there is for me. I've had a few comments saying that Ty is like right now one of their top Reds, and I'm like, really? He hasn't done shit, but they just like his attitude. But I'm like, but still, I don't know shit about this man.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off before I make a claim like that.
Yeah,
because we literally don't know anything about Taya. We don't know what his goal is, what the dream is that he has with Boom Boom or anything like that. And yeah. But outside of that, we got our typical formulaic Rainbow Road giant robot fight.
There's some new stuff. They did like a little trick pathway and tricked the little car monster.
They went the whole creative track mode, that type of thing.
I was curious, and I pointed out earlier in a review, and I brought it up in my review that like I was like, okay, so since Red technically just drives the trailer, but like if there's ever a situation where Red's not around, who would drive, the Boon trailer? And I always assumed it would be Blue, but Pink got to drive it, and I was like, we're gonna trust Mira with the whole the Boon trailer, like just like that. We're just gonna be like, yeah, you get the trailer. I was like, but I do like that police robo form. It's so good.
It's because the bros had to be the popo together because they were out here just feeling the vibe. And they were like, you know what, soccer mom, you got it. You drive the big trailer. You got it. Take us to school. So,
like, I don't know, the John Woo style dual wielding. I was like, oh, it's so good.
That's why I was like, you know what, let me make the fights entertaining for myself, which is why when I brought out Wild Deno for this review, I was like, we're doing the commentaries when it comes to the big robot fight. Though by halfway through Wild Deno, I realized I'm doing more of a Booker T impression than I am doing a Macho Man Randy Savage impression. I realized that.
There's nothing wrong with Booker T. Booker T was great on commentary.
But I was enjoying roasting myself to the point that I like rewatching it. I was dying.
Look
here, Ronald McDonald. I was like dying so much when I was editing that together. I was like, damn.
Did your friend die from doing that voice for so long, or?
No, actually not so much. But the thing is, it's like every time I would take a break, say something in like normal, and then go back to it. I was just like, this didn't sound right. I gotta throw out a couple, oh yeah, before I actually start saying shit.
You gotta warm up a bit before you do it.
Had to do the, all right, let's go. Oh yeah. So all that good shit. Just working to it. But yeah, I'm just out here roasting myself as well, Deno. So that was a fun time. I mean, I figured this is probably going to be a persona that sticks around just as long as regular Deno does. So I got to make him entertaining. So
like, I mean,
you might want to look into learning some video training before you do damage to yourself. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out after, a year of doing weekly reviews. How much that's going to start hurting. So, but yes, Boonboomger, I think it's starting to become more normalcy for me when it comes to the episodes, and that's why I'm starting to be more of a, hitting the bees in stride, because it's very formulaic. Like you get how each act is going to flow now. It's like you get some plot. They transform. They defeat monster. You get Rainbow Road. Then that transitions into, we're spitting out the gasoline, and then bam, a giant fight. The end. That's it. So, and that's what's killing it for me. I'm like, change it up. Start the episode with a giant robot fight. Like, I don't even care if you just go like, how did we get here? That type of thing. It's just like, oh, this is the end of the episode. We're just starting it now.
I kind of like the formula. But I haven't watched all the Sentai, so I'm not burnt out on that formula yet.
But you would get burnt out of it if you just...
Oh, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
After 20 episodes, watching it week to week, you're like, I'm just going to skip or fast forward through this robot fight. Because that's how you get after a while.
I was like with Zenkaiser. I was like, all right, we're not going to learn about the parents. Like, I thought we were about to next episode. Then I'm like, it's the same thing every week. Like, I'm just
that's the shit that got me with Zenkaiser. Every time I was like, you guys introduce plot. Kaido's parents, it's right there. And they're like, no.
Or anything with like Stacy. And I'm like, all right, this is like, what's going on? Like, I'm kind of annoyed by this. But I don't know. I kind of like I don't know. I like this formula right now. Just after everything went through with King Oja with like the green screen and this and that, I'm okay with this old school style formula going right now because I'm just enjoying location shots. And that being outside with real explosions and stuff. I'm like, I'm okay with that right now.
Look, I will say that at least when it came to mech fights, when they were doing them right, King Oger had peak mech fights.
Oh, 100%. Like
They had
especially
mech
with the
fights that
music,
actually kept me engaged.
especially with
Now
the music.
I'm back to here and I'm like, I'm not as engaged on this fight anymore. And the bit's kind of worn itself.
Yeah.
On
Well, the
that
fights
front.
are quick. The fights are really quick, which I
Yeah.
like that they're not dragged out at least. So when we do get a longer fight, I feel like it's gonna feel like more important.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just like, I'm not that big of a. I got to get these to engage me a little bit more. Right now they ain't doing it, but at the same time, I'm just like, what happened to that CG company you guys were working with that was making the good visuals for King Oger, not the shitty visuals we started getting, later on. But like, what they doing? You guys just ended your contract, or are they here trying to fix the CG when it comes to when they cobble together the last 3 episodes of King Oger for a special?
Mm.
Since that's still going to come out eventually.
Yeah, I think that's. They never said when. They were just like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it at some point. I'm like, all right.
It's probably going to be like a year anniversary type thing.
Probably
They're gonna
after
be like,
the next crossover.
not to take away the hype train of the finale of Boonboomger, but the same day, the same time, Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club. Here it is, the King Oger final episode film.
They speaking of, they put the freaking Sabella and Darendal special on their YouTube channel for like the anniversary of it or whatever, and I'm like, ain't nobody want to watch that. Oddly enough, that's still a review video on my YouTube channel. In my drafts, I never put live because I was just older. I'm like, why is this a thing? Yeah.
I've never seen it. I don't want to see it. I'm like, nah.
It's not as awkward as everyone thought it was gonna be, but it was still just really bad.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm enjoying Boonboomger. I think episode 6, like I'm just liking the simplicity of the show. Like we get some like little like seeds planted here and there, but like overall it's cookie cutter. It's cut and dry and to the point with what you're getting every episode. With some like, okay, I want to know more of Taya's backstory, but I know we'll get a red focused episode that goes over that and this and that. So I'm like, I'm enjoying for what it is. It's really good.
I mean, it's still enjoyable. The humor is still hidden. But the thing is, if it's just humor without like some nuance to it, that's where I start getting a little bit like, after a while, I'm going to start getting burnt out. And then I'll just be like, it's okay. Because this last episode, I even said in my review, the first time I watched it, I was like, it's all right. Then when I watched the second time, because I was on stream, I had already pounded like a couple of drinks. So like the buzz was hitting. I was like, okay, this shit funny. Then when I watched it sober, like a few days later, I'm like, oh no, it's the full humor is not there anymore. Like, what's going on? So
You're watching it too many times. I watch it once, then I review it. How many times do you watch it, Ash?
Just the once. Usually I'll rewind it if I need to get a screenshot or something. So then it's like 2.5-ish. But just if I need to go back and correct myself on dialogue.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when I review something, I watch it multiple times. Especially like when I start typing up my review, then that's technically like the 4th time I'm watching it because I'm literally doing it in bite-sized chunks. Like, here it is. And by the time I'm typing up everything, I'm not actually like listening to it. I'm just looking at the visuals and the subs that are on screen, that type of thing, for that portion of things.
And then by your Saturday stream, you've seen it like 7 times, like 5 or 6. It's like maybe that's kind of burning out on it too, why you're not enjoying it as much.
Well, the thing is, that would be if I was actually putting out my reviews on the same Sunday that I'm doing the Twitch stream, but I'm not because of regular work. I've fallen behind when it comes to putting things out. It used to be with mostly Geats and Dombros where it would be into that formula where I would put out the Geats reviews that very same Sunday. So by the time we get to the stream, I'd already like watch the episode already in the midst of editing my review, or maybe the review's already out, that kind of shit. So by then, it's like, this is like my 6th time watching the episode. So by then, I've already picked apart every single flaw with the narrative and the retcons and the shit that they're doing with Geats so many times. So, but for Boonboomger, no, it's been multiple times throughout the week. But I would say it's different from Dom Bros because Dom Bros almost every time that I would rewatch an episode, it doesn't matter if I was like on the sauce, off the sauce, whatever, I was still having a great time every single viewing. But that's because they would change it up. There would be nuance to what we would be seeing. Because sometimes they wouldn't even have mech fights. So I think it's the formula of Boonboomger right now that I'm hoping that they just change some shit to. Maybe have an episode without a mech fight. And I'll be like, oh, really? Okay.
I honestly thought there wasn't going to be one in episode 6 because Red was fighting Mad Rex, and I was like, oh, well, I mean, he's occupied. They're not going to have a Robo. There's no Robo this episode. That's why when Mira ended up taking over control of the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, so it is interchangeable, who technically is like the main driver of the robot.
Yeah.
Because I assumed we weren't going to get a Robo fight at all.
But because we know that the second the monsters are defeated, he's, Yadukar's got to eat up that gas and then take it somewhere just from the spit out the giant. It's like maybe have an episode where he's about to get the gas and then someone just shoots him out the way. And then the gas just free floats. Show us what that looks like. What happens to that gas when it's just free floating? See? Do we have a greenhouse effect? Like, what's going on?
Global warming.
All the other methane that's up there? Like, we need something like that.
They're trying to terraform Earth with the gas.
The thing is, if I have to wait until like episode 25 to get the answer to all that, or get an episode like that, I'm just like, that's too long. That is way too long of a time to do that.
Yeah, I assume we're going to get some answers more sooner now that Mad Rex is there. But I also feel like he's also like, because he's what they call him? He was like a commander. So I feel like there's still people above him. So I'm just like, and now we know because of the families. I'm like, okay, what other crime syndicate alien factions do we have? Is there like a cool faction war? I was like, this opens the door to more like twists and more like branches in the story than I would say like King Oger had with just Bugnarok, and then
I do hope they do commit to the mafia family bit. That's the thing, especially after coming off these Yakuza games. It's like, give me more of that shit, but obviously too early to see when and if that's going to end up being a thing. Because it could just be the one family, in which case I'll be like, oh, no, I'm disappointed. Unless they're like, oh, the summer film is going to introduce a whole new family that's going to get killed off.
They give a hint at you show like a space restaurant, and there's other families sitting around eating like pasta and gabagool and stuff like that. And then you're like, who's that? And you even have some Easter eggs because of the like Car Ranger and other anniversary seasons. Be like, oh, look, their villains are like chilling over there eating in the corner. It's like there's a lot they could probably do. I'm just along for the ride, waiting. I won't get too critical until like episode 15.
Boon Bondrio could end up being, part of another one of the families that he just wanted to defect. He was just like, I don't want this Yakuza life for me. I'm not part of this mafia. I don't want no trouble. He's like Jackie Chan in one of those movies. He don't want no trouble.
Never wants trouble. And he looks for uncle. But that's
and then he's holding a baby at the same time he's saying it. That's how you know he means business. You don't want no trouble. Holding a baby. That's
I'm like
not
trying
the Jackie Chan.
I'm like trying to no, not though. But
just imagine a little Tyranningen right there. A baby Boonboomger.
I was good at that. Brings up a good point though. Like, so Boon's an alien that's like basically a vehicle robot. Sentient, and then we have like aliens, and I'm like, okay, does this like mean there's like a robot like transformer level like race of aliens on another planet? Like, I have so many questions about that stuff. Well,
the thing is, the Hashirians themselves are also vehicle based, so that shows that there's like a synergy. Like if I would say if Boon is from Cybertron, then the Hashidians are probably the GoBots. Which the GoBots themselves, they aren't Transformers, but
No,
they did get ate up by Unicron in the beginning of the film. I'm just saying
they deserve it. So it said that they're the Kmart of the Transformers universe. It's like, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Huh?
We don't talk about GoBots.
So I really want more of that lore, some more seed plants to it, but they're still introducing the cast. So I'm just hoping there's at least something there, especially once we start getting Gemba's story out the way, which I'm still curious about anyway. So I'm very interested to see what this next episode's going to bring, since we know he already had a changer. But he didn't have the weapon to change into. So, but suddenly he's going to make his appearance. So you think the check cleared? He can finally fight, or what's going on? How is Genba coming back?
I don't know. I think he's always been orange. He just hasn't really needed to join in.
I mean, I saw some people speculate that potentially his weapon broke beforehand, but I'm just like, but you were holding the one that you gave to Joe earlier. Why didn't you just go man, fuck this, man, I'm just gonna do it myself?
I hate that changer so much. The only cool thing about it was he turned it into a steering wheel when he was driving. I was like, all right, that's cool. Other than that, I hate everything about that weapon.
I mean, it reminds me a lot of like in Boonboomger. I don't know if you've seen it, Operation Overdrive in the US, where they got the briefcase that opens up and that's got the steering wheel and shit when they're in their mechs.
Oh, that seems really unnecessary.
Like when they're about to go into the mechs, they grab their briefcases, they go up, they open up the briefcase, it's got their controls.
That's too much work.
So
it's too much.
Hey, it's better than bringing a key. You can lose a key.
Sure.
Can you lose a briefcase?
I lose my keys.
Actually, no. I take that back because
you gotta
5 was
handcuff it to yourself. Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta handcuff it to yourself. You're gonna lose it. I do think that, like I said, the cool thing is when he turned into a steering wheel, I was like, that's pretty neat because everyone else has their standard ones and his. But it's I think my thing is I don't like weapon changers because unless I get a Memorial Edition, what's the point? I'm buying a DX version that's this big.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. Give me that die cast.
Yeah, if they do a Memorial Edition of it, I'm buying it.
No, I did the same as well.
Strike Hopper, you want to beat up Mark? I know it's not this Mark, right? Because you get bodied. I'm just saying, but that's beside the point.
TokuPunk wants to fight everyone in this community. I've noticed.
TokuPunk, we could do 2v1 TokuPunk and Strike Hopper. You know what? I don't know if The Rock trademarked it, but I'm gonna start calling myself the final boss. So, seeing around, he's going back to Hollywood to make some crappy fast movie.
That's what he gave Cody. He gave Cody tickets to Black Adam.
He has a lot of them left over. He gave him the money they made from that film. It was just a quarter.
I mean, it did all right.
It lost money. It didn't make money.
It did okay. It did better than the current superhero films.
Listen, the only two things good about that was Dr. Fate and the guy they casted to play Hawkman. I thought that was great casting.
That was great. Until why did Dr. Fate have to sacrifice? Spoilers. Why would he have to sacrifice himself for someone that is gonna reincarnate anyways? He's functionally immortal because as soon as he reincarnated. Yeah, that was the dumbest plot point of that entire film. But anyway, side tangent aside.
Yeah, that movie's trash.
Yeah, we'll see how Boonboomger brings things. Crazy or brought this up in the chat. Have y'all seen the newest Outsider suit?
Yes, I have.
Wait, I thought Outsiders ended. Wait, there's another episode?
It never ends.
No, it never ends. Apparently, this is season 2.
They didn't even say it was season 1 the first time. They were just Outsiders episode 1, not season 1 episode 1. I know.
So they gave us another Kamen Rider 01 form, and this is Kamen Rider 03.
I saw that. It looks good.
And the issue that I have with it is So I do get mad V3 vibes from this.
Same.
But the issue that I have is they should have swapped out the fucking neon green from the 01 suits. Because that's what kills it. Because the thing is, when I showed this on stream, because the green disappeared with my green screen, because I showed it from my phone, I was like, oh, wait, this looks like a better suit now. The second the green went away, because it faded into my green screen, and it just looked like a darker green, I was like, wait, what the hell? This actually looks good.
If the neon green was the lens color, like that, more turquoise, darker green, that would have been a lot better.
Would have been much, much better.
As someone who likes V3, I like the suit. I don't understand what the hell's going on with Outsiders, honestly, because I watched like the first 2 episodes and that was it. And then I watched just the Garen King form henshin, and that was like all I cared about.
I mean, the fact that the episodes come out, not in a proper release schedule, you're like, I forgot what happened last episode when new episode comes out.
Because I was going to wait until it was done and just watch all of them, but apparently it's just the never-ending story. It just keeps going. And I mean, I like that it's a way to like give new forms to writers and this and that, but it's like this is like an alternate universe storyline, so this isn't canon to 01, I assume.
I don't know, because Takahashi wrote fucking 01 and he's writing Outsiders, so I'm assuming in his headcanon all this fits within his shows. So that's what throws things off. So, but otherwise, it's like the suit's only bad because of neon green. You change that, make it a proper like V3 green, something like that, then it probably would be peak suit. I would buy this as a proper like V3 Reiwa era type shit than with this color scheming. Either that or just change the red to not be that shade of red, something to make it work with the neonness of it all.
You can't have silver, black, a neon color, and then 2 darker, more muted colors. Like, it just doesn't, because then the neon green stands out, and that's not the color you want to stand out in this one.
Yeah,
because you want that silver, you want basically the front of the helmet and that chest piece to stand out, not everything else. I mean, I like it. I mean, would I buy a figure of this? No, but Outsider stuff apparently has been getting interjected into the candy toy line, so I'm intrigued.
And the thing about the color scheming is, of course, when we saw the 01 reveal, they turned off the lights. They gave us that like UV light with the green just popping out. And if you do the same thing with this suit, guess what? The green's going to be the only thing that's going to be popping out. It's just like, no, you want that red to pop out for this suit. So it's like, pick your poison on this. You're kind of going against the suit design, the thematics, what was intended with the original 01 suit with this design. Looks good, but then if you're just going to commit to the bit for V3 Reiwa, then commit to the bit. Don't half-ass it. But I get it. They're reusing assets from the original Base 01 suit. They don't want to fuck up the Base 01 suit because they got future crossovers for like the next something 50 years plus to run that suit to the ground.
I don't understand. They got so much money. Why can't they just have more suits? Like, why do they got to keep trying to like not modify? It's like, just make another one.
They ain't.
Because toy.
Good point.
I mean, they're blocking sales to the US now when it comes to our toys. So they're like, look, they're clearly strapped for cash. I've never seen a company struggle so fucking much. And I say that ironically because they're not.
I think
they're acting like an indie Toku company, but they ain't. This is Toei.
Listen, it's because no one buys the US releases.
They say they do. Then they buy it secondhand.
Yeah. I like the suit. I kind of like that helmet.
I feel like I would make this, but just make it with the right green color scheme.
Yeah.
And now that I've got like, one writer suit under my belt, it's time I make another one.
Should make the Snow Lion Senki for blades from Saber. That'll be an easy one to make.
I'm not fucking with fur.
I'm
Not
saying
fucking with that fur.
And you can reach a whole new demographic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Furries are definitely the demographic I want.
I'm just saying. Monetization.
Blah blah something. Anyone think there's gonna be a Reiwa Rider Man? Exposed mouth down here? Like we doing that, guys? We doing that in Kamen Rider again?
I'd like to see it.
Did they do a Rider Man for Heisei 2?
They were planning to. Because essentially during the Decade film, Gak's character was supposed to become Rider Man.
I didn't know that.
Yes. But he was just like, just give me a cool, like, arm. Because I'm Gaked. You can't cover up this face. Yeah. And they were like, you're right. You're Gaked. We can't cover up that face. We're just going to give you that cool-ass arm. And I was like, bitch, nah, that's the lamest part. Like, you showcase off this man. He's only got the fucking arm. And it's like, no.
That's kind of boring. That's not. No, that's not.
So yes, Gak could have been Rider the Man.
Don't count it.
But we didn't get it. And of course, the Kamen Rider, the first line didn't get far enough to give us Rider the Man.
What? Yeah.
And apparently it was in like the early concepts, but yeah. They dropped the ball with that second film. They took some decisions that shouldn't have been made in terms of the thematics of it. And it overall fucked up that potential film franchise. Zero Man. That would be hilarious. It would just be like Vulcan, but then the helmet's like cut so you can see the mouthpiece. Just slap that on.
I think I'm gonna watch Outsiders. I have all the episodes that have been released so far.
Maybe actually watching them back to back, you might
that's what I'm saying.
Make sense of the plot.
Yeah, because like that's why I was waiting until it was done, because I thought after 5 it would be done, and then now I'm thinking, well, if it's gonna keep going, like what? Like they seem to be now going into like the Reiwa era time frame when we had the pandemic, so it's like 01 getting 03. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see what we could revisit for Saber besides freaking what's his name getting a form. And I'm just
what
like,
do you mean? They were already dipping their toes in because outside of that, we also already got George in the show.
I don't count George. I don't care about George. I'm saying, well, honestly, I just want an excuse for Espada to get a real.
And now he's going to be showing up again with Juga and all that shit, and he's going to be part of the Outsiders.
I forgot all that stuff is in there too. I don't want to. Never mind. I'm not going to watch Outsiders. Change my mind. Just rewatch Garen's King Form Henshin over and over again.
Shit. If they do 49 episodes for, we're going to be doing this for like.
That would take 17 years.
Yes, because they release like maybe 4 episodes a year.
Not even. Maybe through
by the time they're done, half of these actors are gonna be senior citizens.
I want to look at the release schedule for this.
There is no release schedule. There is no.
Well, so far the history of
literally when they release an episode, you don't know when the next episode is gonna come out until that episode has aired, and then they go like, catch the next episode in 3 months, and it's just like, oh, okay. Literally, with the last episode of Outsiders, they were like, we'll be back. When? 2024.
Yeah.
When specifically? We don't know.
Episode 4 came out in October 27th. 2.5 months earlier, 3 came out. And then, 3, just under 3 months, episode 3 came out. Then before that, episode 2 came out almost 4 months before that, and then from 2 to 1 was only a 2-month difference. But it's like, and then episode 0 was 4.5 months before episode 1 came out. So it's like this all started in October of 2022. It is now April of 2024, and we are 4 episodes in. 5 isn't even out yet.
Yeah.
And if you count the fact that this is technically a continuation of the Gemthauser specials that started before all that,
Yeah,
then
the
it goes
President
even
special.
further.
That goes back to the president one, and that
Yes.
does it also. If it does that stuff, does that mean also the Zeo versus Decade and Decade versus Zeo ones are a part of that then too?
Not exactly, because I know Inoue wrote that. Takahashi's just sticking to the shit that he's been doing.
Because I wasn't sure, because I know some of that stuff kind of trickled, so I wasn't sure. Like that's too much.
He is trying to build other people's lore into his own lore, but this is just like fanfics of. This is literally just a glorified fanfic. That's all that Outsiders is.
Yeah.
It's someone that got to be in writer that's just like, I'm going to make all these shows. I'm going to unite the timeline. I'm going to do what Decade didn't do, what Zeo didn't. I'm going to unite the timelines and make that shit work. You remember Foundation X, how they did nothing? You thought they were cooking. They weren't cooking. Now I'm the one. I'm the captain now. I'm going to fix this entire shit. That's Takahashi's entire thing. And I'm like, bro, stop. Please stop. You're doing this. You wrote these shitty Geats films that we're about to get to. You're doing Ride Commons. You're just buying yourself tenure. Stop it. Stop it. Take a break. Do an Ultraman. Fuck up another franchise.
But don't do that.
We don't know who the head writer is for Arc. Maybe Takahashi is writing Ultraman
Listen,
Arc.
all I know is there's going to be some people should know not to put things where things don't need to be with that changer. It's like the popcorn bucket situation.
I mean, what you just stick it, you're gonna try and rotate the thing while your thing's in. And I would think you're gonna pretty much shred it or do some damage. You might bend it a way that it's not supposed to bend.
I didn't say any of that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ain't gonna be fitting right.
It's okay. At CinemaCon just ended, and during the Marvel panel for when they showed 10 minutes of Deadpool and Wolverine, they flat out said they're purposely releasing a very crude and lewd popcorn bucket just for this film. And they said they've been researching. And I'm like, what do you mean researching to make a popcorn bucket? What are you researching?
But real quick, in terms of ruining other franchises, but probably not anyway, we do have some shots of Arc's armor forms already.
Oh, wow.
So I know last week I wasn't really feeling the vibe of Arc currently. I know you weren't on the show, so
I didn't.
But this is one of them. Top heavy.
Too bulky.
And this is the other one. But once again, top. I'm not feeling anything with these. They ain't doing it for me.
I'm sure they'll look cool once in motion, like I always say, but
thing is, it's like there's nothing really going on with the helmet. It's literally just armament. Nothing with the legs either.
I hate how symmetrical the suit is, because we had that nice blazer, nice change of pace suit, and then we're back to, well, which Ultraman is this? If you line them all up, and no one's gonna know which Ultraman. The common knowledge, people aren't like who don't watch a lot of Ultraman, like that's Ultraman, and that's it's like, well, you're right, but which one? They're like,
The funny thing is, these armors standalone, I can see being like the upper torso to a Kamen Rider.
They do. It's like this is all like the stuff they didn't want to use for like Gachard with Kami forms.
Like, just change the eyes to be bug-eyed and make that little headpiece that's sticking up the color coinciding with the armor, and you got yourself an early Heisei era Kamen Rider. Also make the undersuit just black, and there you go. Add knee armor for good measure.
Yeah.
The other thing we got is that his special beam comes from his sword that is glasses that he puts up to his face.
What in the ghost is going on?
That's some Gurren Lagann shit right there.
I don't.
So yes, here's a little bit of a better shot. So yes, there are glasses on his sword.
This shit's gonna
Just
be so
hold it up.
unhinged.
No, it's weird because of course he's holding the blade.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right.
Well, at least he's not. He didn't fold his hand over on it, so I can like give him credit for that. But like,
When
this
you got a
is-
sword as a weapon and the sword shoots the beam, but you have to hold it up to your face to shoot the beam, this seems counterintuitive. You've got a rod. You could just aim and just there you go. I mean, Saban's Masked Rider did it that way.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the 90s compared to 2024.
Yes.
This is just. I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I like Ultraman, but like, I don't know. I'm just mad they went back to the formulaic classic style suits. I thought Blazar was so different, and I was really hopeful that was gonna be the future of Ultraman going into this new era of okay, the suit doesn't need to be symmetrical. We can make changes to it, and then you know what it is. I think it was the fishing scene in Blazar that like is why they're like, no, we can't do new suit cool stuff. We got to go back to old because look at all the screenshots and memes, and it's like, no, you jerk.
I do feel that a lot of pretty much the big three in general for 2024 just decided to go. We're going back to basics, and we're gonna go back to that child audience with a lot of this shit. Because Arc's definitely giving me that vibe. Boonboomger said itself that's essentially what they're targeting. Gotchard, we got those vibes early on as well. They're definitely trying to go for that younger audience. And I mean, for Ultraman, it at least makes sense because the previous season, the protagonist was an older man that had a wife and child, and now here we've got a younger protagonist again. So they were like, oh, we got to go back now. But the one thing that stuck with me when it came to the trailer was the fact that they're saying, you know, creativity, imagination, and I'm just like, sounds like the Boonboomger promo all over again. Where it's just like, oh yeah, reality and fucking imagination. Here we go. Let's go for them kids. So we'll see how this ends up playing out from that aspect. But I'm not as hyped for this as I was for Blazar. Blazar, like I was intrigued in the beginning, and the first episode I was like, okay. But then the episode 2 was what sold me and kept me like along for the ride. Because it was completely tonally different from episode 1. And we kind of just kept up from there. So but I don't know. What's has the hype meter changed in the last week since we got the trailer and this shit?
Yeah. It's gone down. It's gone, like, and I'm like, and a lot of my friends and like the other Discords, they know me as like the Ultraman fan because like they'll just watch a couple episodes and give up, and I'm always just like, no, I got all the Blu-rays, I've got figures and SH figure arts and this and that, and I love Ultraman, and then it's like this happens, and I'm like, it could be a good show, it could pull me in, but just off of what I've seen from the changer standpoint. The sword, this and that, it's just in the suit itself. I'm just like, I've got little to no hype for this. And I blame Blazar because, like I said, that suit, that's a good suit.
That's a really good suit, yeah.
Good blue all through, like electric, like that's a good suit. And I was like, I need that back.
And the thing is, with Blazar, I spent a lot of time. It's like, okay, I know that Ultramen are supposed to get so many different forms and shit like that, and it's just like, no, they cock tease you all the way until like the very end when you finally get it. And here it's just like before the show's even out, you get 2. Here's 2 already.
Yeah,
check it out, guys. And I'm like, okay.
And it's also, I mean, I think it's because Earth Garon got all the different like weapon upgrades on it, so that kind of offset the form, even though it was getting handed L's every other week. Maruni, I have not finished Nexus since I've done my tier list. I will eventually. I will never do. I might do an updated version of that video, but it's going to be me literally telling everyone in the comments that was being a dick to like just suck it. Probably like that's probably going to be the whole video. So
yeah, being underserved is definitely something that I'm kind of feeling with this, but something that definitely underserved me was these Geats Post-Series films that we got. So you didn't watch, Mark, you didn't watch the Gazer special.
No, I didn't. I think the stuff that came out after the Visa, I think.
It did.
So kind of like I already watched it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like in the order that I watched it on Twitch, I watched the Jamato Awakening film first, and then I watched the Gazer special, and I was like, oh, this is literally the lead up to this film. Okay. All right. So from there we get the explainer kind of sort of to the Jamato. It turns out that the previous producer before Niram was the one responsible for giving Archimetal technically the seeds to create the King and Queen Jamato, and that the future in itself, but yeah, Archimetal apparently had this in his possession the entire time. Never used them. Which I'm like, what? You're given the shit and you never used it. Okay. All right. But of course, Ash, the big thing is, so in the future, you know how human civilization has suggest like they've
evolved.
I think they haven't really evolved. Essentially, they kind of pull a Gurren Lagann. They're in a society where they decide to just live in a virtual space. They just decide to like go Matrix style with themselves.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why was because the entire Earth was ravaged by a giant Jamato.
It would have been cool to learn about that in the actual show.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing that got me is, so the entire reason why your future sucks is because of a giant Jamato. Yet you guys are doing a game in the past involving Jamato. You never thought that it might be possible that you guys caused your own future?
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing. I'm like, so you guys are playing a reality show game where you're going back to the past, but it's not a fake past. You're literally going to the past and fucking with shit. And you're using Jamatos, but your own future was fucked up by Jamatos. They never were like, oh yeah, that's that. So that part was dumb. Also weird part was the fact that the previous producer was not using the Vision driver, but using the Regad driver, to be able to transform into to his form. And I'm like, okay, that also doesn't really make sense in terms of that prospect and aspects. God, there's so many issues with this. But yes, so Jamato Awakening is the film in which we find out that essentially, without knowing it, Daichi cultivated the King and Queen Jamato. Because he finds a weird seed and is just like, you know what? I'm going to plant that bitch. Let's do it. All right. So within like the course of months, they instantly mature into full-blown adults and things like that.
Wait, did Daichi plant these when he was on his evil phase, or did
he
plant?
No, he planted this when he was in his good guy, I'm raising Pikmin phase.
You dumb motherfucker.
He just finds this Jamato seed. He's just like, oh, what's that? I'm gonna plant that son bitch. Let's go. Yes.
I get if he did it during his evil phase and like they took a while to grow, but during his like Pikmin phase, during his redemption, it's.
Oh yeah, so getting ahead of myself because someone in chat just reminded me of something. So in the Gazer special, there's another navigator there, but within the series,
is it a waifu navigator? Can I?
She is a waifu bait. But this is the thing. Within the context of the series, Sumuri said that she was the navigator after Mitsume, Ace's mom.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where'd this bitch show up from? Like, what's going on? Why?
Then who was? Where does she?
But then who was phone? That's exactly how I'm feeling. Like it makes no goddamn sense. I'm like, you're out here trying to explain your shit and you're doing it wrong. So okay.
Maybe I need to watch this myself and come back next week and
Like I was
ingest
dying during that
it
stream. I was
myself.
getting so mad with all the retcons. So the Queen Jamato and the King Jamato, like the king wants to get in them cheeks, but the queen's like, nah, you ain't my guy. So she dips out. She leaves. She finds herself a human guy. They have a kid together. The kid's like 5, 6 years old.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
remember
like,
that in the trailer.
but it's like, wait, but what? What is time? What is time? It's like Daichi cultivated this at the end of Geats. You have King and Queen. This is literally like the end of Twilight Saga, where like give birth to child's instantly like 18 years old. The fuck, that kind of shit. Especially with the King and Queen, and then like the child that the Queen has with a human. So, in the distant future, where you know the Jamatos are fucking up Earth and that entire thing, Ace from the future, because he is God.
Yep, I remember that he became God at the end.
But this is like distant, several thousand years in the future. Ace.
Yeah.
He gets contacted by Niram. He shows up like, "What up, homie?" And then they like, "All right, we're sending you to the past."
Wait, didn't Niram get shot and die?
So within the context of this, they say when you get shot in these past games, all you do is you just get logged out of the game. And you get taken back like to their regular reality. I know, it makes no goddamn sense, right? It makes no goddamn, because it's just like, why did they care so much about dying? And they were like,
must have not paid attention when that was explained.
Exactly, that was the thing. Yeah, because no, Beroba's in the film, and that's what she says. Because they even tell her, "Why are you here?" Oh yeah, when you beat me, Azuma, all I did was log out. You beat me to the point that I logged out.
That's fucking like, dumb. That is fucking dumb. That's like when you rage quit in Dark Souls. That is the most. You log out of the game just before dying. No, that is fucking of a dipshit excuse.
It is.
What the fuck? That's dumb. That just sounds like hearing it now. It's like, oh, I logged out of a game. Does that mean Kekara logged out as well, or did he not know? Did she log out?
Essentially, anybody from the future, when they got hit up, they just logged out. Peace.
People keep saying
and then just like zoomed out. It was so fucking, because I'm just like, wait, the entire thing of that cheapens the scene where, you know, Beroba's like struggling and she sees her true face in the mirror.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
because the thing is, it's like when we see Niram interact, like they're all using their avatars in like their proper reality. And I'm like, you're robbing us of something that we've always wanted to see in the show. You could have had it here because you're trying to explain away so many things. You could have shown us their real selves, but you don't. Because everybody's technically logged into the Matrix. So yeah, Ace, even though he's an all-knowing, all-powerful god of creation, needs future technology to go back to the past. And he gets sent to the past to end up finding technically the King and Queen Jamato to end up saving the future. And I'm like, so wait, knowing timeline shenanigans, that means shouldn't have Ace already been God in the future before they went back in time?
Did Takahashi write this one?
Yes, he did.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Also,
No.
I
Are we
like
doing
the-
MCU time thing where it's like technically it's the future, but it's not the future of the people that are currently in the past? Their future is different. It's
So,
like
so you're saying I'm assuming that technically the way that they're doing it is that when Niram logged out after he got shot, he came back to a future where he's just like, "Oh wait, Ace is God now. Ace, where you at?" And he's just like, "What up?" with his white hair and blue eyes. It's just like, "Oh, you are here." And it's just like, "Yeah, what's up?" Jamada's fucking some shit up. Yeah, I know. I was here the entire time. You didn't do anything about it? No, they never even mentioned the fact that Ace never did shit about it. It's just like, so you've been existing this entire time knowing that Earth got fucked up. You, a benevolent god, didn't do shit about it? Nah. But I'm going to need y'all to send me back in time so I can do something about it, even though he should be omnipresent God. But okay. All right, sure. We're going back to the past.
I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna fire up my ticket machine because I have to see this for myself for this weekend. Be right back. It might slow down my internet, but I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
well then.
It's like he wants to watch it. So yeah, it's I don't get it. Why they thought this was a good idea. But the part that got me the most is the fact that when Beroba shows up, she tells like Michinaga that he still is part Jamato. What? What? Okay, so two things on that. So after he became a Jamato, there was a game reset. He lost that ability. They later on technically retconned it during his final fight with Beroba when he resummoned the Jamashin abilities to once again showcase off that he still had the hacks. But then after that thing entirely changed, it should have reset. And when Ace redid the world, he should have not been Jamato at all. But then it's just like,
You're Jamato.
yeah, you still have Jamato in there. We just got to unlock it.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, it's the stupidest fucking shit ever. And doing that concentrates the data into his new buckle. Yay. That's
It's just I don't. There's.
It's painful. It's because I'm just like, you thought this was a good idea? Really?
You know when people rank like overall seasons and this and that, and they're like, "Oh, I just consider like the show episode 1 through like 49 or 50," and they don't do V cinemas or movies. I'm sorry, but if I include this in the Geats verse like ranking, like this pushes it down the list, the rankings even more. Like it's just.
Zedu, you're absolutely right. Suaru also reverted the time to before Buffa was even a writer. So once again, it's a retcon on a retcon on a retcon, and Takahashi just out here. He rebooting faster than the DC universe does every fucking 10 years. He managed to do it within the course of a year and a half. It's crazy. You know what's also funny? If you're doing a time travel tale as well, if they had just sent future Ace back maybe 10 minutes before, even then, and stopped the kid's parents from dying, he would have solved the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just like literally would have just showed up and just like, yeah, because the other thing is the kid's dad dies first, and then the mom goes ape shit on the cop that shoots him. And then she's done it.
Well, we talked about this while Geats was still going on. We knew that thanks to the resets and then also with Sewell being able to just like rewind, we knew there was going to be a lot of retconning and like cop outs of not having to properly explain stuff. They're like, oh, well, resets, you know, and it's the point where it's like that has like the long term effects of the quality of Geats and anything post the show ending. It really shows just no consistency, no coherent, there's no canon to that season.
But the entire thing is, when it comes to the way Geats works and the way that they did their resets, was it killed the stakes when we were watching the show. If they had said within the show, oh, there might be some lingering effects that happen every time you reset a game, like maybe some things are long term, like the shit that we got here, that would have eased off some of the things and also would have built tension within the concept of the show itself. But no, every time they did a reset, they implied it was like a hard reset, except for the winner, and then whatever other like shit they pulled out of their ass besides ID core touching, they could make the shit work. But here it's just like, oh yeah, the long-standing effects of you being a Jamato, getting that reset, then it suddenly coming back, getting that reset again. But now you still always had it within you. You can't get rid of you being part Jamato. Was the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah.
Not only that, but quality control on that suit. Like when you saw Poison Rage start running with the fire, if you saw the knee armor, that shit was flopping around. You could see the straps that they had on there, and I was like, who approved this shot? Y'all should have redone it chest up, only chest up. Don't do full body. Them things were flip-flopping around. You could flip pancakes off them shits from how much they were flopping around. It was not a good look.
I didn't notice some of the suit stuff until like I saw people like slowing it down in GIF form or like then like pointing it out, and I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, on paper, and when I first saw the suit, like back before all this came out, I was like, this looks really good. But then it's like seeing it in motion, I was like, oh man.
And what's funny is like at the end, like future Ace is talking to Ace, and he's just like, oh, so you have faith that kid's not gonna be fucking up? Because at the end of the day, the kid that is essentially the hybrid of the Jamato Queen and this human is essentially the future Jamato that fucked up everything in the future. That it was the kid the entire time. But because Michinaga decides that he's going to be the one to raise the kid, suddenly everything's better because he's got faith in Ozma raising that kid the right way with a lot of beef. And plants can't grow with beef; they need water. You give them a lot of beef, that kid's not gonna become a plant. He might become a buffalo. We don't know. Other side things about this film that I found was weird. Neon still searching for Prince Charming, even though Kyun was at the finale. And then it's just like, even this special forgot that Kyun was a thing. Like, Kyun was in the final episode. He was there.
I told you he wasn't important. That was kind of just a throwaway like scene at the end of Geats, because it's like, how can someone from the future be in this time? Like, unless that's like a descendant. I don't know how this works, but I'm like, nope, he's not important. Never happened. Retcon that out of there too. It's gonna be Keiwa.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Keiwa's actor did state that he wanted his character to end up with Neon at the end. So maybe it was him like slipping Takahashi a 20, and then he was just like, yeah, for that, I'm not gonna put Kyun in this one. You're right. We're gonna work towards the whole Tycoon special in the future. Next year, I got to buy myself tenure. So you want to be an outsiders? Both of y'all want to be an outsiders? We'll make this storyline work. So Takahashi's just going to keep milking that shit. Yeah, stay tuned for the Tycoon Neon Nago special, where he goes get permission from Yago. So we get the return of Yago for some reason, and it's just literally Keiwa asking permission to date his daughter. That's going to be the whole film. And look, if I was the one doing it, I'll make it work. But it's going to be Takahashi making it, so it ain't going to work. They're going to throw in some shit in there that's going to retcon different things. They're going to throw in John and Ben, and then they're not going to make them writers, even though they should have all their memories back. But they're still going to make them serve. It doesn't make sense why they would still serve them after having their memories, but hey, he'll fuck it up. Fuck it up. So yeah, how was your trip to Japan, Ash?
Long.
Yeah.
Seats were terrible.
Makes sense. I get it.
But then you'll be able to watch definitely not peak cinema. We got Gene out here saying Outsiders, Nago with some fucking pants. Yes, they need to finally armor up Nago. Like full body armor.
Right.
Like, if anything, Buffa's Plosion Rage shouldn't have had a lower body portion of it because that thing was just flip-flopping around. So hey, they would have been better off without it. Give his lower half to her upper half and make her upper half her lower. And then there we go. Make it work. Make it work. But yeah, that film, I was going into it like, okay, let's see y'all trying to fix some Geats out here. And I left even more upset about this show's finale than anything. After watching all that. You had time. You had somewhat of a budget. You could have cooked. He tried rewriting the story and he failed. There's a reason why Cloudy's not here. Because Badmouth and Takahashi killed this man. Cloudy, R.I.P. It's okay. He just logged out.
Yeah.
He'll be back next week. From the future. Show up. Old avatar, like, what's up? I just logged out. That was yeah, that was the thing. Any other extra points you want to throw in there, Mark, from your observations?
As one of the things out there, like this was a tragedy. I think it's a tragedy. This should have never happened. This was unneeded.
People are also saying so Chair, the theme song for Tycoon when he got his Bujin sword, that theme song played during Buffa's fight. So now that's his theme song. It's starting to get tossed around like Godchard's fucking fight music. It's like, oh, you thought it was for this form? But nah, it's also for this guy.
Like this film puts a tarnish on Geats as a whole. Like as a season as a whole, I feel like it kind of stuck the landing, but that, like we said, after the disaster arc and this and that was kind of wishy-washy. But like it's just the stock is lowering for me. Like I don't care if they do anything else for Geats again. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Like I don't care for a 5-year, 10-year. Like do nothing with this right now. Leave it alone. Because everything they release for it is just it's progressively getting worse. Like I can only imagine the Gazer special's bad too. I bet. Like
yes, yeah.
I
mean, it's shorter, but it's still bad.
In 01, and I enjoyed the series of like Geats as a whole if you don't count the specials into it. But I feel like we don't always need a post-ending movie for Rider series all the time, and I feel like this might be one of the cases.
This is the downside of something like Trail of Deep Sin for Saber. That was filmed, looked amazing from a cinematography standpoint. Story was good. This and that. Stop. Stop. I know it. Listen, no,
you overhyped that. You and everybody else overhyped the fuck out of that for me. Then I watched it and I was like, why were y'all hyping this shit up so much?
Dude, the editing was great. The shots were so good, but we don't need all the other stuff they did. Say Bell and Darendal, all this other stuff. The only things they had for side content was good was like the day in the lifestyle little things they did with like, oh, here's Kenzin and this person. What are they doing for the day? And they're just like eating noodles and like what's his name is just obsessing over the weapons and wanting to polish them constantly, which I think was an innuendo for something else. But we don't need all this content. Revice was a prime example. We did not need all that extra content with Revice, except for Veil. Revice Legacy was good. That should have been the whole show. Just
But
Revice,
that
like
should have
it's
been
before.
literally like the middle portion
It should have been in there.
of Revice, yes.
But everything about Geats post disaster with everything else, it's like overall the show, I enjoyed it, but all the side content's ruining it for me.
Muso Muteki. You know, that jingle was better than both the Disaster Arc and Yamato Awakening. Just saying. But I would say what's worse would actually be Yamato Awakening. Yamato Awakening fundamentally rewrote so much of Geats' story. Like, the retcons in it, in itself, does more damage. Luckily, once again, it's supplemental content. If you're just watching the show and you don't have this knowledge piece, you might be better for it. And then if you fully engross yourself in the story of Geats, and then you watch Yamato Awakening, you might dislike it. The thing is, once again, there was another YouTuber that reviewed this film like yesterday. Loved it. 10 out of 10. Amazing. The best Geats has ever been. And I was just in there like, we watched the same film? No. No. It's so flawed, especially when you paid attention to so much going on with the story. So, yeah. I mean, at least Revice, its post content, yeah, it's mostly business, especially Jugo Ortega. Oh my god. But at least, you know what? They killed Vice and he's still not back.
True.
So they at least stuck with that portion of it. They didn't retcon it like, oh no, now Vice is suddenly back. Why is your face extra darker, Vice? We don't talk about it. Yes.
Listen, okay, so I could say Yamato Awakening is worse. That'd be like the easy answer. But you have to realize from the standpoint of what was the start of the decline in Geats?
It was the Disaster Arc, yes.
So it's like if the Disaster Arc never happened, we still got some Geats stuff, and they had another way of how they paced it and did stuff. It's one of those things. It's like, okay, well, is Yamato Awakening post content? I could still watch all of Geats and not watch this film and be okay. Whereas Disaster Arc is in the freaking show, and if you have to sit there and like be like, I'm gonna skip an arc because it's bad.
But you know what fundamentally made the Disaster Arc worse was the way it ended. Because they go like, oh shit, Yamatos are loose. We're going to have to cancel the game. So all the shit that happened before with Neon being the disaster is just like, all is forgiven. Bitch, what? I'm sorry. This was a character moment for Neon. And you guys just said, reset.
Yeah.
You had a free pass.
Same
thing with Buffa when he did his Heaven and Hell game. That shit.
That was kind of fun though. Heaven and Hell game was kind of entertaining, but it's just like, I don't know what's worse, honestly. Like I'm probably gonna say Yamato Awakening is worse, just because it's unnecessary. You could have with its post show content stuff, you could put some more effort into it. Yeah. At least with the show, if you have an arc that's bad, you can kind of try and redeem yourself later on and stick the landing. But if you just put out a bad movie as like post content that's supposed to continue the main story of the show and it's bad, it's like that's on you. Yamato Awakening is probably worse.
And that's the other thing Musa Muteki does bring up. Daichi was forgiven, and no, most of the shit that happened in this movie was because Daichi got redeemed. And you know what? At the end, everybody's still like, Daichi, my man, cool. We out here chilling. If y'all actually killed this man, because he was a bad guy that should have actually gotten his due diligence, got served, no redemption, none of this would have happened. Technically, the future is fucked up because Daichi fucked up.
See, we should have let Kawa kill him. Kawa was on his just
He had
He
multiple
had his own
times.
gang.
Multiple times.
He had merch. He had a flag. They should have let him kill that gang. Like that's all that was needed. Like he could have
That's
survived
right.
without his sister. He lost his parents. He was fine. He could have lost his sister
Yeah.
too. He was good. He got an Aeon.
He
could
ended
take
up
her to
losing his
IKEA for
parents twice.
furniture.
And his
He could
sister,
have took
like,
Neon
twice
to
as
get
well. So.
furniture. I'm just saying.
True.
His sister didn't need to go shopping with Neon. He could have went like, yo, let's go to IKEA. What kind of bed you want? Maybe get one a little bigger for 2. And then
You're paying for it because I ain't got the money. I got no
oh,
job.
no, she got money. No,
Exactly. Yeah.
She's the breadwinner. Come on now. He's gonna buy scratch tickets and do nice things.
She would be the sugar mama for their relationship.
100%.
In this instance, I would have to go with Saber.
Or movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 01 did something in one of their movies with Bulk. I don't think that was necessity. Just in case people haven't seen 01. Geats, their movies, Revice. Revice, I didn't really care for the movies. I still think Revice got a lot of unwarranted hate, but I have to go with Saber.
Now, I would say that their Revice's summer movie was all right. Probably the best out of all the content that they had. But otherwise, all the content within the sake of that, because Veil is still tops. And then outside of that, if you also count the Chimera special, the Chimera special that was right before the summer film, that's superior to the actual film itself. But it involved no Revice. Notice the best part about Revice is the part without Revice.
It's that little prequel before the Chimera special was actually really good. I was kind of mad that that wasn't extended out more, because that was, dude, when they have grounded really just civilian human elements and then have it. I feel like there was a lot more of an emotional tie between the Kamen Rider stuff and the human stuff in Revice than there was in say Geats and this and that. Geats, you can interchange anybody. Oh, you're now chosen to be a rider, and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas there's something more of a bond between civilian life and everything else going on with Revice. So I kind of like that more. That was a good special though. That suit was nice at first.
It was. And the thing is, it still played up to the whole family dynamic of things, that the theme of Revice, and then him losing his parents in the most brutal way fucking possible. That was
never
some
handle that.
Yeah, because he wasn't there to actually witness him getting.
Both times he didn't witness it. He saw the explosion in the background the second time. He's like, "Wait, what's that smoke over there?" It's like,
yeah, that's your parents dying, Mom, for the second time,
Dad,
and that was because of you. But yeah, the 01 movies fundamentally also ended up messing up different aspects of the shows, because honestly, I would have been fine with 01 just ending where the show ended and leaving it open-ended to where this could go. Versus the explainers that we got right after with the 01 movie, with the
I understand
Metsubo Jinrai, with the Kamen Rider Vulcans, no.
But I understand why they did that, obviously, with filming restraints and this and that and everything else going on. So it's I feel for them with all the stuff they had to struggle with just to get the end product of that show out in the films, with all the safety precautions in place with filming, which is why second half of 01, the films, everything with Saber, I just, like I said, there's always an asterisk next to it. It's they went through some shit just to give us.
That's why the Saber summer film, which once again, that film technically is nothing in hindsight, because you get more context within the actual show than you get in that fucking film, was reduced to a 30-minute runtime, because we got to have the 01 film. This is our grand finale to 01. So, but they made up with it. So, but within these lineups, it would be that way. No idea about God Chart. Apparently some shit happens in the God Chart. I'm just saying. A lot of crazy shit happens in that Gotchard. Winter film, at least. Summer film, we'll have to wait for that one. So, yeah, I'll be curious to get Ash's thought processes when it comes to like all the Geats-related supplemental shit once you actually manage to watch them films.
I'll try to watch all of it. I'll try to sit for
Is there
all of
anything? Is there anything else announced yet from like? Is this like the last one that we like have confirmed that's like content for Geats, or is there more?
No idea, but with Takahashi, you never know.
it.
Especially since he's actively still writing shit for so many other things. Because for all you know, he could tie in Outsiders to Geats in general.
Well, Samori's in Outsiders, so
Yeah, she is showing up in that. So who else could show up from there? And he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna tie this into my narrative. And I'm like, well, your narrative sucks.
Look, I like Takahashi's other stuff like 01 and X8 and stuff like that. And I like Geats as a series, but I feel like this is one of those things where we don't need all the extra side content.
No.
Because it adds on too much stuff that contradicts the stuff that we saw on the show.
I feel like Takahashi is Kamen Rider's Tetsuya Nomura, where like he started off, he had an idea, and then he got advice from the old guard, like for Nomura's sake, it was Sakaguchi, the previous head of Final Fantasy, who told him that the key to a good story, make it convoluted as fuck, just so you could keep it going. Was apparently the advice that Sakaguchi. That was apparently the advice that Sakaguchi gave to Tetsuya Nomura before, like, he started off. So I'm just like, who gave Takahashi the same fucking advice that Sakaguchi gave to Tetsuya Nomura?
I still got to beat Rebirth, so I'm still pushing through it slowly.
Very slowly.
But even
no
then,
other games
like,
matter.
The whole Tetsuya Nomura thing kind of falls more into like just the Final Fantasy VII after Final Fantasy VII with all the extended shit, and to a greater extent, the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Oh, no.
So I feel like what Takahashi is doing now with Outsiders and possibly even Geats is his own Kingdom Hearts.
I'm also Xenonaut.
He's written himself into a state. Watch the final villain of Ride Commons just be Ace Ukyo from a different timeline, because he's God, omnipresent in various different timelines. Joke's on you. He was Omazeo the whole time. He's invading your other writer shows. Tendo's grandma in Kabuto? No, it was just Ace. It was always Ace. Ace was the grandma the whole time. What world does Tsukasa from Decade originate from? Ace's world. It's just it. It's just there. I say that, and one of the viewers is literally Takahashi going like, I'm writing that shit down. That's some good shit. I'm going to put that. You are making magic happen. Just out here. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of talked out on that point. Y'all want to like talk your comics shit for a bit? Y'all got some comics?
I haven't went yet this week.
I did buy one comic while I was at the convention just because the cover art was cool.
Oh shit! What was it?
Show us.
Yeah, show and tell. When do you give her comics? I literally haven't been buying comics.
No proper context for this. I was just roaming through the different comics that they had. They had a section of variants.
It's a Transformers My Little Pony crossover.
And I was like, I like this.
Oh no! Oh, okay.
Oh,
nice. Very nice. Virgin variant, so nothing on the front to ruin it.
Yep, nothing on there at all. Because I mean, the back is just.
Yeah.
Eh.
I mean,
but yeah, this is number 19, 2022.
Yeah, for when they split. That's when they split Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers into two. So it was like Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin as two different runs.
Mm-hmm.
Nice cover to get.
Well,
nice artwork.
Two different sets of characters. Yeah. If you like Rocky, that arc puts respect on Rocky's name.
Great. 'Cause
Rocky
that
was,
kick sure didn't.
yeah, no, Rocky is really good in
That's
the
the issue
comics.
I'm thinking about. That's the issue I'm thinking about.
Is that when Matt was doing the thing and he was like with the kids, or is that earlier?
Yeah. You said you got 19.
Yeah.
That's the issue I think about. That's a really good Rocky issue.
Tanoshi asked, I know I've seen it. Have y'all seen the new trailers for the King Oja crossover films?
No, because I don't care.
Yes. Yeah, I have. Zenkaiser Black is in it, which is kind of knew he would show up in there. But yeah, it's mostly what we've seen before, except just a couple more action shots.
We get proper Minoru action there.
Oh yeah, Memorial's in there. He's King Oja monster again.
And it looks like, you know, we're having proper versus fight, meaning it looks like the King Ojas are gonna sprawl with the Dom Bros for like a good bit to see who's top dog, because they definitely beefing. At least for the Kyoryuger special, everybody's rocking different modern fits, and I don't like Jeremy's because Jeremy looks like the 90s threw up all over him. Like it don't look good. I don't care what anyone says, that drip ain't right. Because I mean, I had to live with it. I existed in the 90s. I'd see people try and rock the multicolored look that was overtly baggy for themselves and going like, yeah. And I was like, no, this ain't good. But it looks like Prince is fading from the timeline, but he's back clearly by the end of it because we see him in the final roll call. So thank you for spoiling that own trailer. Because we see Prince like fading, like, help me, Dad, I'm disappearing from the timeline. Because of course we know from the synopsis,
I gotta get my parents back together,
that apparently the timeline got fucked up when Daiko and Uchi were out like just doing shit. And that's why Gira is bad and rocking the armor that is exactly what I thought like Raynor rocked back in the day, because it legit is just that same armor, but now just made to be more spiffy, looking more new. And I'm like, okay, I made this own prediction myself way back in the day, literally months ago. And now we're getting it. Cool. The thing is, the late 80s and the early 90s blend together. That's the thing. The end of an era and the start of an era are pretty much the same shit.
Yeah. I'm watching the trailer now and I'm like, wait, are these two different specials?
Yes, it's two different specials.
Because like they blended in, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna really care to watch this. Because I mean, I've seen Don Brothers and I've seen King Oja. I haven't seen Q Ranger. Yeah, Kyoryuger. So I haven't seen that. So I'm like,
You got to remember, this is also two 22-minute special. They'll be double booked together.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Is I know people are getting hype about these specials, but I watched it and I was like, great, but this is literally an episode each. This is like if you were just to watch one episode each of this, it's either going to be very, very heavily packed, so the pacing is going to be insane, or there's not a lot that's going to happen until the end, or they just literally start off and they've just been fighting the entire time. Like the entire episode is nothing but fighting. So it's just mindless action. Which for some folks, that might be cool, but one of the things that I enjoy about the crossovers is interaction between the characters. Yeah. And the thing is, that could work much better for the Kyoryuger crossover, because they technically had 2.5 episodes of crossover before this. So yeah, adding an additional 22 minutes to it, cool, great, got it. Make it Daigo focused, make it work. But Dom Bros, you're making your actual crossover with the previous year Sentai. Only that. Only 22 minutes. I'm sorry, that's not enough. You got to have the proper introductions of the team. We'll see how they make it work. But
Mhm.
Right now, I'm not optimistic on that front. Gotta see how they cook them, because I don't think writers gonna be able to write with that limitation. But crazier things have happened. But at the same time, we saw Prince's second half portion of him popping up in King Oja that was like, why the fuck is this even in this episode? So let's see what else. I just noticed Minoru's face is on his King Oja form. That's always been there. That was always there. That was never not there. So let's see. Black Kaito, yeah, that's about it. So
Mhm.
I mean, Giro's monster form is essentially still Rainior's regular transformation if you backdate it to when he did that. That's my headcanon to it. So yes, no Boonboomger Hitotsuki. Disappointment. Could have done it. Maybe if Inoue keeps writing himself into more tenure, then he can continue the story of whatever they're cooking up here besides Sonoe coming back to life into a future crossover.
Yeah.
Like 5 years down the line. Doesn't even have to be with Boonboomger. They just show up for the 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary of Super Sentai. Like, Don Bros just show up. Zenkai just try to show up. But then Don Bros just like, we're the real anniversary season, right? And then, like, that's when Rainbow Kaito properly becomes Black Kaito and it gets explained. They'll do it then. So yeah, that's all I got. Oh my god, we're almost at the 3-hour mark. So we did it.
Yeah.
Just getting into the Geats crap. All that shit.
Yeah, basically.
So someone setting off sparklers by someone's house. What am I hearing?
I think it's birds.
Yeah, it's not me. We don't have birds out here.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell am I hearing? It sounds like sparklers going off.
Right.
Like, is it a holiday somewhere?
I don't hear sparklers, but
I'm reading the full press breakdown of Ultraman Arc, and I'm like, because they released it earlier today, and it's a lot to read, and I'm just like, all right, but like,
did they reveal who's writing it?
Let me see.
Anything regarding that? I am not going to make a review for that Geat shit. I'm feeling more negative towards this than I was the Juga Ortega special, which I did not review for obvious reasons because I hated the fuck out of it. People don't watch these live streams, but it's like if people ask me for like what my take is on it, I'm gonna start like just pulling people to like you gotta watch this. I go into it. There's a reason why I don't want to talk about this because I'm already mad as is.
You can clip this itself and make it a video.
I could.
If I want to put it the lead director is going to be Takanori Tsujimoto, who's been involved since like Ultraman X with all the new generation stuff with them. It is not saying who is writing.
Yeah, the thing is, we've known the director already.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay, obviously they're still doing the simulcast, which obviously we knew was going to happen. They said basically everything. They're online streaming. They're ramping it up even more because Ultraman Blazar the movie was a huge success for them all over Asia. They're really just gassing themselves up with everything they're doing. Oh, Ultraman Arc is the 30th TV entry in the Ultra series, so it's the actual 30th like legit mainline season. It should be good.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the head writer is the same as the director.
Makes sense.
Jun Sugita is the head writer for it. and he's written Ultraman Z re-challenge from the year 2020.
I just got to that part of it,
Yeah.
where it says the series compositor and head writer, because it has a whole breakdown of who the staff profiles on it, and I'm like, okay.
Wrote several episodes for Blazar, 2 episodes of Decker, 2 episodes of Trigger. But I guess this is his first actual head writing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got a good director working with him, so.
But then looking at this, some of the shit that he's worked on before, I don't know if he's worked on this as head writer or anything like that, but looking at this, he did one of the high and low films, and that's like just brain rot. It's nothing but eye candy for the audience that likes their Japanese boy bands out here trying to be edgy, fighting each other.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. I mean, like, I don't know, looking at his, I mean, he did Mutant Girl Squad.
I didn't watch that. I don't know what that is.
I don't know
Sounds
what
very
it is
not
either,
safe
but
for work.
I don't know what it is either, but I just saw the poster and I'm like, you know what? I should probably check that out for research.
So this other one like got Gothic Lolita Battle Bear. The fuck is that? What kind of name is that? What is this? What even is that?
Week. I will let you know by next Friday.
I'm gonna let me see. Searching these words together.
Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, don't do it.
Is this the chick that leads the Pokemon like live shows?
Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead is one of the movies.
I think this is the chick that
list that he's written.
That does all the Pokemon like the lead into Pokemon is normally hosted by somebody, and I think this is the chick that leads it.
Done a lot of collaboration on like weird, like non-horror horror stuff. Like another one called like Dead Sushi.
Get a 3.0 out of 5.
Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead got 4.7 out of 10. They did a Tomy Unlimited, which I mean, Horny House of Horror. Okay, I can't. Well, I'm not going to say that all now.
There's a trailer. Gonna have to check that out. Oh, Maui Chimichi is actually in that one film, Gokai Yellow.
Oh,
for those who don't know. But it only has like it's a mid film according to people's ratings overall. So trying to check out trailer now, see. Okay, there's like a stuffed pink teddy bear that gets possessed by a star, very Gino looking for it, and possessed. And she uses it to transform. She used the stuffed teddy bear to transform into very skin tight too. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna have to check that out. What are you watching, Mark? Since you're out here just
I'm like, this man is like the Japanese writer for like Japanese version of trauma films, and I'm just like, let me go down the whole entire catalog because I have not seen anything where I'm like, this is gross. I'm just like, this has me intrigued. I'm going to watch everything from 2009 to.
I do like the summary of this film, even though even looking here at IMDb, it's like 5.5 out of 10. A gothic Lolita merges with a samurai teddy bear to fight zombies and save the world. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a drunk stream night. I can totally like, yep.
Well, not for me though. But
no, you can have other stuff.
Well, I meant the stream part. I only do that every once in a while. Dude, like I think I could get away with just being like, hey, let's take a look at the new writer of Ultraman Arc's like writing history. I think I should be able to get in the clear to do a video on that Whereas once again, I did some tweaking on
The-
my
the-
Giga
the
video
Giga
and it got
stuff?
claimed
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I have done 5 revisions of this and I keep getting hit every time. I cut out the scene where I show the website and I blur the box art just to show the pricing of the movies. That part got hit, and I'm like, well, this is in context because that's why they're putting the stuff up for free. They want you to go buy the movie, and I'm like, the stuff I have to cut out is like pivotal to the overall history of the company,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I might as well just be like, hey guys, I watched Inappropriate Ultraman. It was good, and that's the end of the video. Just make a YouTube short. Probably get
Hit
hit
them
on that
credits.
as well.
So, fun stuff. Some history definitely I did not know, but I'm glad it is introduced into my life. I will be checking out some of this content on my own time.
Peak content.
Good discovery. For anybody, just go out there, just, search some things up. I like how one of these screenshots is literally a pink teddy bear holding a gun.
Yeah.
Like just a Glock just out there. That's just funny.
Like that time frame with like the low budget stuff was just so good. Like inappropriateness of the movies aside, like that style, that trauma style film of horror, that B movie, like that is one of my favorite genres of horror film.
Found a Reddit post, which is where this screenshot came from. Where they say is a superhero in film that has it all. Lolita dresses that look like confectionery that you can taste them. Alien possessed teddy bears, zombies. It is a wholesome kids film about appreciating the people in your life. Oh, I'm not gonna say that last line. Okay. Yeah, definitely not saying that last line. That's some shit. That's definitely some shit. Okay. Cool. Anything else to add before we close things out for tonight?
Not really.
Cool. I think Ash has some shit that he needs to watch now. Get mad about. Get some feelings about.
See if I can actually watch it.
Yep.
Oh, you're talking about the
no. We got things to watch.
Yeah,
Mark.
we
got some shit we got to watch.
We got some R&D to work on. The research like
we got our own things we got to find and just search some of these
old
these
tennis
places.
injury right there.
Yeah,
Tennis injury.
Go out there and check some shit out. See what we got. All right. So Ash, what you got to promote?
Hold on a moment.
Also, what you eating? They good? They delicious?
It's crackers, isn't it?
I didn't see what specifically they are. What the fuck is that? I don't know that brand. What's a shapes?
They're pizza flavored.
Like, they're basically biscuits.
Think of like combos, but not pretzels.
Yeah,
I hated combos, except for like the pizza combos were all right, but I hated how they would always get stuck to like my teeth.
That's what these are doing for me. But yeah, you can find me over on Deoxy360 on the YouTubes, the Twitters, the social medias. No comics out this week, but I did drop a video a while ago called Adapting Sentai Exclusive Mecha into Power Rangers. So that's out. It's doing fairly decent. But apart from that, I'm going to be reviewing Go-Go Loser Ranger Episode 2. Because episode 1 did fairly decent, and then I'll probably be talking about Kaiju number 8 on the channel as well.
Hey, okay, cool. Mark, what you got? You doing stuff?
Nothing. Not much.
Yeah,
I do have a Go-Go Loser Ranger video coming up. Just because I have been busy work. Zio understands. We both I've barely been in the Discord because I'm just like working a lot. I am going to be working on Kaiju number 8 video also because I've been really excited for that, but I'm worried about the animation and why is it debuting on Crunchyroll and Twitter? That's kind of weird.
I forgot about that.
It's going to be on X like literally in under 3 hours because I think they're just going to add it at midnight.
There's like actual videos going up on there now? What?
No, okay, so with the whole blue checkmark thing and that, you could put a whole thing Like a
I didn't
whole,
know that.
you could put
whole
people put whole
movie.
movies on there. Like I watched Dragon Ball Superheroes or Superheroes the other day while I was at work because it was someone put it on there. They actually have been
Flash,
signing.
someone put it on there.
Oh yeah, I remember that. There's people who have been getting signed on to do their podcasts and live streams right on there because you can do live on there now too. Also, so yeah, you could do a lot on there. Other than that, I got some toy reviews I got to do. I have some stuff on the way, but like we talked about earlier with the whole thing, I've been picking the non-express shipping just because I'm not in a hurry to get a lot of the stuff. I'm not gonna, because all my toy review videos and this and that have been doing better than my show review stuff. So I'm like, finally that pendulum has like swung in that direction because candy toys are getting more popular. So I do have the Black Beat SMP on the way. Like that's gonna be first. So I'm hopefully gonna record a video for that. And I picked up some more model kits, so I'll probably stream those at some point. And it's a Nerd Day mark everywhere, obviously, because I'm so original. I put everything the same name.
Cool. Well, I mean, I got the Discord server that, frankly, all the new people joining has been nothing but bots plugging a particular OnlyFans page. And this morning I got, I saw my phone. Oh, man, 5 a.m. One of these bots struck. Great. Fucking all these.
Your Discord server, you said?
I've been banning them.
I wouldn't click on that link, Mark.
I'm joking.
But yeah, bots be running rampant, so that's a thing going on there. Otherwise, yeah, on Twitch, Toku Rewind, we're still watching B Fighter, we're still watching Shinkanger, we're still watching Superhero Time come on Sunday nights to get some impressions when it comes to all that crap. On here, well, I got out that Boonboomger review, but I definitely recommend you watch it just to get the Wild Deno debut up in that, which was fun. It was fun. I mean, I recorded the majority of everything for all that yesterday. It was just that opening bit just took forever to edit, or else I would have had it done much sooner. I need to really tone down those opening bits. I committed to the bit. Sometimes I just commit to the bit, and I just, I have to see it through to the end, even if it sucks. But yeah, that's it. No Cloudy, obviously he's out, he's dead. We talked too much shit about Takahashi. He has logged out to his future realm. Maybe he can tell us what the future is like, if it's anything like Civil War that Mark saw. So anyway, that's it. We're out of here, guys. We will catch you all next week. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye.